The centre-forward who is charged with doing that for Everton tonight is the Portuguese striker Beto. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is out with an ankle injury. Armando Broja has started the last couple of Premier League games but picked up an injury in the defeat at Bournemouth at the weekend. So it is Beto who starts for Everton tonight. The two sets of players are just exchanging the handshakes. That is the two starting 11s. Father and son, Ashley Young and Tyler Young, on the subs benches for Everton and Peterborough tonight. What a story that will be if those two get on the field together. Ashley Young, 39 years old, and Tyler Young, who's made just one appearance for Peterborough this season, a substitute appearance in the League Cup much earlier on in the campaign, but he's there on the bench and has a chance of facing his father tonight. You can hear the announcer on the tannoy inside the stadium running through the two teams. Let's do that for you as well just before this game gets underway. Cardiff City 1-up at Sheffield United, so the first goal in the FA Cup third round has gone in this evening, and commentary beginning on Fulham-Watford, which kicks off at 7:45 on Sports Extra tonight. The Everton team is being read out right now. João Virginia is the goalkeeper. 6 changes from that 1-0 defeat at Bournemouth. Could be 3 centre-backs tonight. Jake O'Brien gets a start. Michael Keane and Jared Branthwaite are in there as well. Nathan Patterson gets a first start of the season. Long way back from injury for the Scotland international. He's in for Ashley Young. Vitaly Mikalenko continues on the left-hand side. Orel Mangala and Idrissa Gueye in central midfield. Gueye captains the side tonight. 17-year-old Harrison Armstrong gets a start for Everton in this game. Beto I've mentioned, and Iliman Ndiaye, who scored that cracking goal in the 1-1 draw against Manchester City recently. He is also in the starting lineup. 3 changes for Peterborough, not in great form. Lost at Wrexham at the weekend by a 0-0. Have lost 4 of the last 5 in League One. They have Nicholas Bilokovic, the Australian, in goal. 19-year-old James Donnelly at right back. George Nevitt, the Welshman, comes in at left back tonight. Jadel Katonga on loan from Manchester City is one of the centre-backs alongside Emmanuel Fernandez. Hector Cipriano, Archie Collins, lots of experience there in central midfield, supported by Cian Hayes, the Irishman, and Donny O'Brien Brady. Chris Con-Clark in support of Ricky Jade Jones, who has scored 12 goals for Peterborough so far this season. Double-barrel trouble up top for Peterborough. They are in all white. They are playing from right to left in the first half at Goodison Park, and the atmosphere calms a little as we get into the early stages of this FA Cup third round tie. Full commentary here on BBC Radio 5 Live, the BBC Sounds app as well. You're going to need that over the next 5 days. You'll be on the move, no doubt, at some point when you'll want to be listening to the football, so the BBC Sounds app is perfect for that. Everton knocking the ball around inside their own half, and when we get our first break in play, we will take you to Bramall Lane because the half-time whistle has blown between Sheffield United and Cardiff City. 7 o'clock kickoff in the FA Cup tonight. There is a ball for Armstrong to chase for Everton down the right. Peterborough get it back to their goalkeeper Bilokovic. It comes to Archie Collins in midfield. O'Brien Brady gets on the ball. It then loops up in the air. Everton trying to win it in midfield. Gueye finds Ndiaye running into the penalty area, just turns away from goal, lays it back to his skipper Gueye. Little pass across midfield, a 1-2 with Mangala, and then Everton come to the right. And here's Jake O'Brien, who's in this right-sided centre-back position, one of the 3 centre-backs for Everton this evening. Everton come back to the halfway line. Michael Keane plays a cross towards Jared Branthwaite. Branthwaite just controls the ball with his left foot, pushes a pass to Keane, comes wide here to Patterson. Patterson lays it back to the halfway line. Patient build-up for Everton. Let's check in quickly at Bramall Lane. Half-time whistle has blown. Charlie Slater.
Sheffield United 0, Cardiff 1. First goal of the third round scored by Cian Ashford inside 20 minutes. Norrington Davis gave the ball away in the build-up. Sheffield United offered very little. Louis Marsh with a couple of shots on goal is their lot. Sheffield United 0, Cardiff 1.
Thoughts from Izzy Christensen here shortly at Goodison Park. Beto trying to weave his way out of trouble, hits a first-time shot with his left foot straight at the goalkeeper. Bilokovic, all in bright orange tonight, claims it confidently on the edge of his 6-yard box.
Yeah,
Izzy.
Snapshot from Beto, gets the ball on his left foot in and around the 18-yard box. They're dropping off Peterborough, denying the space, so when Everton get half a sneak of goal, Beto Beto setting the precedent there by just snapshotting it into the keeper's hands. But good start from Everton.
Peterborough bringing the ball into the Everton half for the first time this evening. Archie Collins with his right foot plays back into his own half. Katongo to George Nevitt. Nevitt gets the ball again. He's the left back for Peterborough tonight. Played up towards Collins, heavily involved in the early stages for Peterborough. Threads a pass through to one of the most creative outlets in the team, Chris Clark, who wears the number 9. First season for him at the club, having joined from Altrincham. Had an excellent season for them last season. It's back with Belokovic, the goalkeeper. Very confident pass with his right foot. Played into the midfield to O'Brien Brady. And Peterborough have made a confident start as a team here. Clark on the turn. Everton stand off him. Right-footed pass. He tries to thread it through a gap down the inside right channel, but Everton intercept, come back to their goalkeeper, Virginia, who clears with his left foot. Izzy Christensen.
Yeah, Chris Clark, like you mentioned, very low centre of gravity in that sort of number 10 role, dropping in, linking play. He's actually the overload in midfield, so Everton have got the 2 central midfielders in Mangala and Gay, and Clark is just dropping in behind them, and he's had a lot of opportunity already in these opening minutes just to get on the ball on the turn and play forward.
Little dart forward from Cian Hayes on the left for Peterborough. They thought he might have been fouled. The decision didn't go for him. Harrison Armstrong, the 17-year-old, keeping a keen eye on him. So he's on the right side of the 3-man Everton attack tonight. They're in the blue shirts, thin white numbers on the back, white shorts. And Illiman and Jai with the white socks rolled down, passes the ball back into midfield. It comes wide to Patterson. Nice turn from Armstrong. Uses his body to lose his marker. Tries to flick a pass forward to Beto with the outside of his right foot. That is blocked. Peterborough keep it. Edge of their own box. Collins under pressure. And Mangala nearly found Beto with the pass. Couldn't control it. It was tackled inside the Peterborough area. And Peterborough have a chance to clear. 4 minutes in at Goodison Park. FA Cup third round. Everton 0. Peterborough 0. On the lookout for the cup upsets this weekend. If you think Everton, your mind may drift back to a couple of FA Cup defeats third round under David Moyes. 2003 famously lost 2-1 away to Shrewsbury in the third round. Nigel Jemson scored both goals for Shrewsbury that day. And here at Goodison Park, Oldham came here in 2008 and beat a David Moyes team by 1-0. But Peterborough knocking the ball around, seem very at home. It's actually quite quiet inside Goodison Park at the start of this game, Izzy. Yeah,
they're being very measured when they do get the ball, Peterborough. They're not forcing it forward. They're actually just looking to play and keep the ball, and probably, definitely a tactic just to absorb the enthusiasm away from the crowd a little bit, and doing exactly that, Ali, just silencing the crowd a little bit, operating with a little bit of control. But yeah, good spells of possession so far for both teams. No
James Tarkowski tonight for Everton in this Sean Dyche selection. Dwight McNeil is injured. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is injured. On the ball now is the 17-year-old Armstrong. Finds Patterson wide on the right. Comes back to Jake O'Brien, who's not played much football for Everton this season. Summer signing from Lyon. Former Cork City and Crystal Palace man before that. Gay plays back to his goalkeeper, Virginia. The Everton keeper, all in green, drives the ball forward with his left foot down the middle of the pitch. It is way over Beto's head, and the ball comes running through to the Peterborough keeper, the Australian Nicholas Belokovic. 9 goals in 9 Premier League home games for Everton so far this season, and other than the 4-0 win against Wolves not so long ago, 1 goal in 5 home games is just not enough. Can they find a way through Peterborough tonight? Peterborough trying to play out at the back. Armstrong goes sliding in, gets a foot on the ball, and it goes behind for a goal kick to the League One team. Yeah, very comfortable playing out from the back, Peterborough. I don't know about you, Ali, but the amount of chat lately around this system 3-4-3 because of the arrival of Ruben Amorim, I just feel like it's always spoken about in the last sort of 6 weeks or so. But Peterborough playing that system, will be a little bit different in the final third with 2 players higher, 1 dropping in. But I'm so fascinated to just see how the system works, at lower level, lower leagues. And Peterborough just really comfortable playing out of Everton's press, actually quite easily in that instance against Beto, not tracking back. Yeah, Cian Hayes is holding the width on the left-hand side. James Donnelly, the 19-year-old, on the right-hand side. Good running from midfield as well. Here is Hayes. Pass goes through the legs of Gay, intercepted on the edge of the Everton penalty area. And Jai plays it back to Mangala. Charging run from Mikalenko down the left. Dorneley, the 19-year-old, has read it. Plays back to his goalkeeper, Bilokovic, who passes out to the edge of the Peterborough penalty area. And Archie Collins, for the League One team, has plenty of time on the ball. Looks up, no one near him in a blue shirt. Plays it out to the right to Dorneley. He's overhit the pass down the right-hand side. Darren Ferguson turns in frustration, throws both arms up in the air, and the ball goes behind for an Everton goal kick. How's it started at Craven Cottage tonight, John Southall?
Well, it's Fulham 0, Watford 0. Fulham dominating possession. Traore cross on the right-hand side. Iwobi at the back post. Tight angle. Just couldn't guide it on target. A lot of empty seats here as well tonight, Ali. Fulham 0, Watford 0.
You'll laugh at this one as well, is he actually stopped in Wolverhampton on the drive up from Salisbury to this game, because there were worries potentially this game might not go ahead this evening due to, you know, people maybe struggling to get here and sort of safety concerns with the snow and ice around. So I actually started prepping. I did 2 hours prep on Fulham Watford in case that became the commentary this evening. There is commentary of that on Sports Extra, but we're here, luckily.
So you were going to turn round and go back?
I was 2 hours in between both, and I was told to stop.
Intelligent stopping point.
And hang on. And they said, you might be doing Fulham Watford tonight. I thought, I've done absolutely no notes whatsoever on Fulham Watford. But we've got Everton Peterborough. It's 0-0. We're 8 minutes in, and John Southall will keep us in touch on Fulham Watford. Our FA Cup commentary tomorrow night on 5 Live is Aston Villa against West Ham, which is Graham Potter's first game in charge of his new club. Everton have won a throw on the left. They're going to take that quickly. They're going to find Unjai. Bursts into the penalty area. Tries to get it back to Beto. Half cleared by Emmanuel Fernandez. Mikalenko is onto that. Pushes a pass back to Mangala. 2 balls on the field, so referee Thomas Bramall has to stop the game. Little bit of promise there for Everton. And actually already, is he like it has been recently, when the ball gets to Unjai, there is a buzz inside the stadium.
You can feel it every time. That's what the Everton fans want to see. They want to see Unjai on the ball. He's shown it already in the Premier League this season that he's really capable of creating chances, being that little spark. You know, kind of, you know, the likes of Cunha doing it at Wolves. Every time he gets on the ball, you think something's going to happen. Unjai can have that effect. He just needs to get on the ball more.
Everton 0, Peterborough 0. Leighton Baines, interim boss for Everton tonight. Coat unzipped, hands in pockets, barking the instructions from the side of the pitch. Peterborough, though, playing out from the back of, again, Nevitt with his left foot, finds his pass to O'Brien Brady. He, in turn, finds Collins. Nevitt under a bit of pressure, scoops it away with his right foot. Keane steps forward, plays a nice little first-time ball, and Everton work it well to the right to find Harrison Armstrong, who is the future for Everton. Then Mangala, he misplaces a pass. Peterborough give the ball back to Everton. Gay whips it across the face of the box, intercepted and played forward. Ricky J. Jones gives chase, puts a little bit of pressure on Jake O'Brien for Everton here. Does well, holds his ground, holds off J. Jones and plays the ball infield to Michael Keane.
Yeah, it's really poor for Mangala in Everton's midfield. He's just given the ball away twice, the second with a square ball, just giving Peterborough that impetus to go and going behind. And you can see there the willing running of Ricky J. Jones in behind. I thought Jake O'Brien dealt with the situation really well indeed.
Everton bring it forward with Branthwaite. Branthwaite's low pass to Mikalenko. 10 yards inside the Peterborough half. Those Peterborough fans alongside the pitch in the stand opposite to us. Beto tries to slide a pass through to Armstrong, who was making the run. Slight problem for George Nevitt, who's gone down inside the Peterborough penalty area, but he's picked himself up and seems to be okay. And Bilokovic, the goalkeeper, just drops it at the feet of Fernandez, calmly strokes a pass into the midfield, and Peterborough so easily get the ball up towards the halfway line. O'Brien Brady plays it to his left. Then Hayes drives a low ball, which is easily intercepted here by Mangala on the dribble up towards the halfway line. Beto is caught by Fernandez. Free kick. Beto picks himself up, takes that quickly. And Jai on the dribble for Everton, looking dangerous. Support on the left-hand side here from Mikalenko. Mikalenko back to Njai, edge of the penalty area, right-footed curling shot off target and behind for the goal kick to Peterborough. 11 minutes played at Goodison Park. FA Cup third round night on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. It's 0-0.
Yeah, it's exactly what the Everton fans, we just spoke about it there. Njai just getting on the ball half turn. The foul initially came on Beto, centre-back stepping in, fouling him. Beto just takes the ball, spots it and passes it straight into Njai when Peterborough weren't set in their shape. And those are the moments Everton have got to take to get a foothold in this game and get that goal to put themselves at ease.
4 goals for Njai so far this season, 3 of those in the Premier League. Peterborough with Archie Collins, the midfielder, who's dropped back now between his centre-backs to collect the ball. He's got Mangala in front of him, stands still, whips a pass out to the right, played into midfield. Cipriano's given the ball away. Everton will try and do something with this, but Gay's first pass comes back into his own half. There's Michael Keane. Keane to Gay. Mikalenko just starting to make strides down the left. Infield to Beto, who drops deep, lays it off and trots back upfield. Cross it comes here to O'Brien for Everton. Patterson has to work just to keep that ball in play on the right-hand touchline. Peterborough get bodies around young Harrison Armstrong. Peterborough win it back, and Keane Hayes plays back to his goalkeeper, Bilokovic. Into the feet of Fernandez, forward into midfield. O'Brien Brady is outnumbered, he's lost the ball here. Mangala back to O'Brien, man on they shout as Con Clark closed in for Peterborough. Everton still have it. Gay makes a little dart forward down the inside left channel. Out wide it comes to Mikalenko. Gay again receives it corner of the box. There's Njai, 25 yards out on the turn, now on the dribble, can't quite find a way through, lays the ball off here to O'Brien. Thought about going quickly right to Patterson, but comes back again to Michael Keane, who's in the middle of the 3 centre-backs. Everton building play just inside the Peterborough half, but yet to test the League One keeper Nicholas Bilokovic. Couple of efforts off target so far. Little sprint here from O'Brien. Oh, Everton have made a mess of that. Couldn't keep the ball in play. O'Brien and Patterson both heading towards it. Neither could keep it in. They actually bumped into each other.
You know what? Again, it's really poor for Mangala. It was a pass to no one. They're building with 3 at the back, Everton. Jake O'Brien, and they just sliced through the midfield again. That easily. This isn't good enough from Everton. Leighton Baines, he has to address that, because Peterborough are playing through the midfield far too easily, and Everton have actually been quite sloppy in possession. They're trying to push the ball around quite fast, visit around the surface, which is exactly what they should be doing, but giving it away cheaply like that, it's not good enough.
Sluggish start by Everton. Izzy Christensen with us here at Goodison Park. 14 minutes into the first half, it's 0-0. Peterborough move breaks down wide on the right, so Everton start to play out, and Jared Branthwaite just strokes a pass across his own penalty area to Keane. Keane to O'Brien. O'Brien back to Keane on the edge of the box. And now Everton start to come forward. Mikalenko whips the ball over the top. Beto chases. Bilokovic in a good starting position, heads it away outside his own penalty area. Gay collects for Everton, 10 yards inside the Peterborough half, running from left to right. Floated pass to Patterson, takes that down on the volley, shoulder to shoulder with Hayes, and the free kick goes to Everton just outside the penalty area on the right.
Yeah, twofold. Excellent switch of play from Everton. Patterson isolated with Hayes, who's dropping back into that left wing back, and Patterson has got no options to play with, but what he does do, his first touch is excellent. He takes the first touch across Hayes, and he does make contact, it's a foul, but it's about a metre away from the 18-yard box. That would have been a penalty had that been closer in, of course, but excellent touch from Patterson just to create that moment.
Right, attacking set piece for Everton. What can they do with this? It's handed to the 17-year-old Harrison Armstrong, who is making his 6th appearance of the season here, only his 2nd start for the club, the first one against Southampton in the League Cup. Here is Armstrong, just chips it up towards the far post, nodded back across goal. Branthwaite lays it off edge of the box. Patterson there, complete miscue from Mangala, slices it badly. Con Clark is then tripped, edge of his own penalty area, and Peterborough win the free kick. It is not Mangala's night so far.
I was just thinking, has he got boots on or has he got wellies on? Because he can't strike the ball today, that's for sure. But you know what, that position of that free kick was Armstrong that delivered in, the 17-year-old that's come through the academy. It was a position where you put a left footer, either Mikalenko or even better Leighton Baines, but unfortunately he's not got his kit on.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Here's Fernandez, centre back for Peterborough. Again, easy out for them down the left-hand side, and it's Donald O'Brien Brady, the 20-year-old, who then plays back to Nevitt. But they seem untroubled, unhurried at the moment, Peterborough here at Goodison Park, and Darren Ferguson I think will be pretty pleased with the way his team has started. 16 minutes in, 0-0 against Everton. O'Brien Brady can't quite control that ball. Patterson plays it forward to the edge of the Peterborough box. Nevitt has a chance to clear, passes to Hayes. Hayes whips a first time pass forward to Jade Jones, lays it off to Con Clark. Lovely football from Peterborough. Collins to O'Brien. Brady just showed too much of that to Armstrong, who comes clattering in, makes the tackle, and the ball goes out for a Peterborough throw on the left.
Yeah, O'Brien Brady there, he's just given the ball away, you know, similar sort of role to the way that Mangala's playing for Everton. They've both not been on it at all, because good little play from Peterborough in the midfield, fizzing it around, fine margins, but the ball speed was excellent, and they almost had Everton again running backwards towards their own goal just because of sharp passing through the midfield.
Here's Nevitt for Peterborough. Lofted ball down the left, headed away by O'Brien. Patterson keeps it in play, but Peterborough win it inside the Everton half, and Con Clark, who's a stocky figure in the number 9 shirt for Peterborough, just floating about the pitch, looking for space, and here he is on the left-hand side. Game in the Scottish Premiership tonight, kicked off at 8 o'clock. Dundee against Rangers. Con Clark gets on the ball for Peterborough, driving forward for the League One team. Pass intercepted. Peterborough still have it on the edge of the Everton box. Let's just see what Peterborough can do with this, and then we'll take it to Dundee Rangers, because there has been a goal. Here's Collins to his right to Cipriano. Peterborough coming back towards the halfway line. Everton have averted for the danger for now. Kenny Crawford, who scored?
And Rangers' woe continues on the road. It's Dundee 1, Rangers 0. Olasan Adewumi, the Burnley man on loan here up at Dundee, turned it in from 6 yards.
So Rangers started the night 16 points behind Celtic. Tonight is the game in hand. Teams below them, Dundee United and Aberdeen, 6 points behind them. Rangers a goal behind. Cardiff won up at Sheffield United in the FA Cup third round tonight, kicked off at 7. That game has reached half-time. Fulham-Watford commentary over on Sports Extra. John Southall has the latest.
21 minutes played. Fulham 0, Watford 0. First chance of the game for Fulham. Alex Iwobi, 25-yarder. Struck it really well. Saved by Jonathan Bond to his left-hand side. Good save that. So Fulham 0, Watford 0. And Ali, you should have sent me those notes. Don't lie them to get away.
No, absolutely, John. I'll do it at half-time, just in case you need them. John reminded me, though, actually, of course, because it could be extra time and penalties tonight, so no replays in the FA Cup from now on. That earlier on this season, Preston beat Fulham 16-15 in a penalty shootout. League Cup earlier this season. Yeah,
I remember that.
So it could go long this evening. Could go long here. Could go long there. At the moment, this is 0-0. Everton against Peterborough. Here's Michael Keane. High ball away to the right, nodded down by Patterson. Armstrong leans towards it to control it with his chest. Patterson's tackled, and it goes out for an Everton throw. Patterson takes, back it comes here to Jake O'Brien. Blue shirt untucked, he comes running forward. You can see his breath heavy on the chilly night air. Beto holding Nevitt off. Both of them have got a handful of each other's shirt. Beto's pass finds Idrissa Gueye. Left-footed shot. Oh, that took a deflection. Bilokovic did well to save that. Spooned up in the air. Peterborough not got the danger clear yet. Patterson's cross comes in from the right, and Bilokovic catches that with both hands.
Yeah, that's a brilliant instinct from Bilokovic, because the shot from Dyer was rather obscure, if you like. It was swerving, it was hard, it was straight at him, but he's had to sort of put out an arm, almost like a wicket keeper, to sort of punch it away, and he ends up getting the second phase, and this looks poor from Peterborough.
Well, they're giving the ball away. Beto in the penalty area is tackled there by Fernandez, and Beto gets the last touch, so it goes behind for a goal kick. Peterborough are going to take the risk. Occasionally they might get caught. Darren Ferguson's doing his nut down there.
Yeah, I think he knows that his side have actually had a really good opening 20 minutes. They've been playing some pretty decent stuff through the midfield, but they've just not utilised it enough. But Everton have got to address that. I mean, you know, I'm tempted to say they've got to address it in game, because Con Clark, you can see now in the front, Jake O'Brien has gone in tight with him, because he's a problem. His positioning's been excellent.
Con Clark making a lot of movement off the ball, and as Izzy says, Jake O'Brien steps out there and just follows him all the way as Peterborough try and play out from the right back position. Everton's last defeat in a domestic cup competition against a team 2 divisions below them, like Peterborough are, came 14 years ago in the League Cup when Brentford were in League One. Everton lost the tie eventually on penalties back in 2010. Darren Ferguson, again, not happy with something here. Peterborough taking their time over, taking a free kick they've got in the right back position. 21 minutes played, still 0-0. Fairly quiet inside Goodison Park, and Bilokovic has hammered that downfield. Header is won by Michael Keane. The ball goes high in the air. Con Clark jumps, but he's not the tallest. Harrison Armstrong gets there for Everton. Back it comes to Patterson. Armstrong continues his run. The pass is beyond him. Nevitt clears with his left foot. Easily intercepted by O'Brien. Forward to Gueye. Plenty on his first time ball back towards the edge of the Everton box, and Branthwaite has a chance to stride out for Everton with the ball at his feet. Mykolenko could be dribbling into trouble here. Challenge on him by Dorneley. Got something on the ball, but Everton have kept it. Here's Keane, sees an opportunity to give it to Armstrong. He turns, plays it forward to Patterson on the right. Run being made here by the skipper tonight, Idrissa Gueye. Uses Armstrong again. Armstrong back to O'Brien, and here's Keane. Keane into midfield, finds Mangala. Back to Keane and out to Branthwaite. Branthwaite again, big strides forward, and Jai plays it out to the left. Early cross from Mykolenko in towards the far post. Patterson nods it down. Edge of the 6-yard box. It's Need away. Oh, Mangala hits the bar. Screaming right foot volley. The first effort with the left foot was absolute rubbish. That was nearly an FA Cup screamer. Caught it sweetly. It's rattled the bar. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
Oh, he's definitely found the right boots now, because the way he struck that was exquisite. The way that he leaves the boot, the technique on it, and you think that's going to nestle into the top corner. He keeps it down, he catches it on the slice, and it's just tipped over the bar. But what an effort that was. He certainly found the right shoes indeed.
Yes, good strike from Mangala. Closest we've come to a goal. Everton 0, Peterborough 0. FA Cup third round. Patterson's ball in field to Gueye. Everton take encouragement. Here's Njai. First touch, gets the ball away from his body. Back to Gueye, edge of the box, looking for the run of Mangala. Heavy first touch, couldn't do much with it. He was under pressure. Comes off his right boot, and it ends up in the arms of the Peterborough keeper. He holds on to the ball and just waves defenders away from him. Assesses his options, then bowls it out underarm to Nevitt. Quickly closed down here by Harrison Armstrong. Forward to Hayes. Back it comes to Nevitt again. Armstrong closes in. Nevitt gets the pass away down the left. Jade Jones chests it down. He's lost it. Keane was there. Flicks a little pass in field to Gueye. Wide it comes to Armstrong. Right-footed ball into the near post. Bounces once. Nearly ended up in the back of the net. Slight misunderstanding there between Emmanuel Fernandez and his goalkeeper. Fernandez sort of chests the ball and managed to shovel it behind for an Everton corner. Yeah, that ball in from Harrison Armstrong, that was absolutely brilliant, because he fizzes it in, you know, almost Beckham-esque, into an area with a bounce that causes so much confusion, and Everton have got a corner off it. Everton corner coming. There's been a goal at Craven Cottage, heading there very shortly. Let's see what Everton can do with the corner. Gueye waits to take. Still standing still. He's actually waiting for the referee's whistle to blow, and now Gueye delivers with his right foot. High, deep one towards the far post, headed away, and Peterborough should be able to bring it away. Come in, John Southall.
It was coming. Fulham 1, Watford 0. Traore with the ball on the right hand side. Really good finish from Rodrigo Muniz. Crisp half volley into the bottom right corner. Fulham 1, Watford 0.
Everton 0, Peterborough 0. Sheffield United Cardiff now into the second half. Charlie Slater.
10 minutes have been played. Sheffield United 0, Cardiff 1. Couple of changes for Cardiff at half time, including giving Luke Pearce a debut off the bench. He's only 20 years old. Sheffield United started with better intent but no quality in the final third. They continue to trail by a goal to nil.
Patterson in on the right hand side, crosses for Everton. Beto controls it at the near post, holds on to it, back to goal, eventually loses that, and Peterborough play up to their centre forward Jade Jones, down on his knees, back on his feet. 2 Everton defenders for company. He's actually won Peterborough a throw. In terms of the 17-year-old for Everton tonight, Harrison Armstrong, is he? We've only watched it for 25 minutes or so. What do you think? Like him a lot. I think he's got clearly high level of football intelligence. You can see that already in the opening 25, because he's got really good awareness of positions he needs to be in. He's clearly got an exceptional right foot, which is why he's out here in this wing back position pushing forward. But I like what I've seen, and I think as well he's got that trust of Leighton Baines. Obviously worked under him for a while at youth level through the Everton Academy, so I think he's got massive trust in him, and he's doing a good job so far. 20 minutes remaining in the first half. 5 Live and BBC Sounds at Goodison Park on the day that Sean Dyche has been dismissed as Everton boss. Just under 2 years in charge. First season, took over in January 2023, saved Everton from relegation. 1-0 win against Bournemouth on the final day of the season. Leicester's win that day was not good enough, and they went down. Last season, the points deduction and all that, and Everton avoided relegation comfortably. At the moment in the Premier League, just 1 point above the bottom 3. Keane's longer ball forward gets away from Patterson, bounces once and goes behind for the goal kick. And those in charge here say, Izzy, they hope to have a new man in place for Wednesday night's game in the Premier League against Aston Villa. So clearly someone in mind. We have 20 minutes left in the first half, and Everton not been great so far tonight. 0-0 against Peterborough. Jade Jones, just as he kept the ball in play, not quite. Wide on the left, it's gone out for an Everton throw.
Yeah, just going back to the Harrison Armstrong point, Ali, you know, he's a player whose positioning is really good off the ball, but you think of young wingers that have come through, and I'm thinking about Anthony Gordon through Everton, and I'm seeing a little bit of similarity between the two of them, and the way that Anthony Gordon has progressed, you know, and a massive part of that was at Everton. Let's not deny that. He's had a fantastic career so far at Newcastle, but his foundations were built here at Everton. And I'm seeing, you know, he's his own player, Harrison Armstrong, completely his own player, but in this opening 25 minutes or so, I've definitely seen glimpses of Anthony Gordon in him.
Mikalenko on the ball for Everton. Plays back here to Keane, edge of his own penalty area. Fires it across to O'Brien. Here is Armstrong, outside of the right foot to Beto. Little 1-2, it gets away from Armstrong. Patterson's there. Quick pass from him to Gay. Gay across the Everton half, finds Mangala, gets a shout from Branthwaite, who is on the move. Into the Peterborough half he goes. Back into midfield it comes. Gay. Cross here to O'Brien, who has got the speed this time to keep this ball in play. Peterborough back in numbers here. O'Brien feeds one down the right. Patterson gets to it, crosses in with his right foot, headed away by Dorneley. Con Clark completes the clearance with a volley, only as far as Branthwaite for Everton. And he's got Mangala on his left. Mangala with the fizzing right foot volley minutes ago that clipped the crossbar and went behind. On the ball now, forward to Njai. Clever turn from him. Pass into the feet of Armstrong, laid off to O'Brien. Armstrong making a run again down the inside right channel, just closed out by two Peterborough defenders, and the ball goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, with this system, this back three that Everton are playing, and Peterborough are also playing it as well, but it ends up with centre-backs actually get a lot of time on the ball, and so far there's been a few passes from both sides in the centre-back area that have just been sloppy and gone out of play and not been quite enough for the forwards to feed off. But Everton, when it has worked, it's looked good down this right-hand side with Armstrong and Patterson. They're just looking to get Patterson in advance and get him whipping the ball into Beto, who is that target man up front for Everton.
Gay comes speeding forward for Everton. Space on the left-hand side, he's completely scuffed the pass. Mikalenko is in a really good position, just didn't get enough on the ball to get it to him. Cipriano forward to Con Clark, into midfield. O'Brien Brady gets it for Peterborough. Nevitt from the left-back position. Patterson sliding in, got ball initially, then his momentum took him right through onto the shin of Cipriano. He is down and hurt at the moment. The referee, Thomas Bramall, had a pretty good view of that.
Yeah.
And play on.
I'm not sure, you know. I think that was a foul on Patterson on Cipriano. I think it was late. Cipriano's clearly come off worse. He's hobbling back into position, but I'd like to see a replay of that.
Here's Mangala for Everton. Coming up to half an hour played at Goodison Park. Patterson has to stretch to keep the ball in play. Does that well. Low pass to Mangala. Patterson caught as he played the pass. Beto's down inside the penalty area. His feet just seemed to give way there. Lost his footing.
You know what? I think Cipriano has just left one on Patterson to say, there we go. Evens now. Evens. I think he's just left one off the ball. Patterson's just having a word with the linesman saying, you can see that. I think he just did the whole classic check the run. Patterson's looked to go forward, make a run forward, and Cipriano's just bodied him out of the way.
Another goal at Craven Cottage, John Southall.
Wow, didn't see this one coming. Fulham 1, Watford 1, pretty much their first chance of the game. And what an FA Cup goal this is. Rocco Vactor picked the ball up. He must have been 25, 30 yards out. Fulham defenders backed off it, and he just smashed it into the top right-hand corner. Fulham 1, Watford 1.
Should remind you as well, this game tonight, Everton against Peterborough, is available to watch on the iPlayer and via the red button. If you're clever enough, you can sync it up with the BBC Sounds app, and you can listen to the commentary along with the pictures. Fulham-Watford commentary continues over on Sports Extra. This is 0-0, that is 1-1. Everton with Branthwaite inside the Peterborough half. Blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks with the white tops. Playing towards the park end of the ground, away to our right-hand side in their last ever season at Goodison Park. And here's Michael Keane in the centre circle. Not too much pace on the pass to 17-year-old Armstrong. Stops in his tracks. Back it comes to O'Brien. Cross here to Keane. Mangala is right by his side. Receives a short pass. Starts to bring the ball forward. Peterborough have everyone behind the ball. Comes to the right to O'Brien. Low pass from him. Armstrong gets a cross in from the right. Deep one beyond everyone. Mykolenko chases, but he won't be able to keep that ball in play. Thrown for Peterborough.
Yeah, it's much better from O'Brien. Centre-back, right-sided centre-back, finding himself quite advanced. Peterborough dropped right off, and a really intelligent run from Harrison Armstrong there, just in between the channel between the Peterborough full-back and centre-back, just overweighted with the cross that he provided, but a really good position. And that's one of the benefits of the system, is that the centre-backs can feed those plays. You do end up with numbers in the box if the cross is good.
What I can tell you from my Fulham-Watford prep I did earlier on today, two clubs that have never won the FA Cup. So Fulham finalists 1975, lost to West Ham. Watford twice finalists, actually lost the final to Everton in 1984, one of the first football games I ever remember watching in full on the BBC. That great Everton team in the mid-80s beat Graham Taylor's Watford, the tears of Elton John, and then Watford more recently losing the final to Manchester City 6-0 on the day, which is a very tough afternoon for the Watford fans at Wembley. Fulham 1, Watford 1. Everton 0, Peterborough 0. 13 minutes remaining in the first half. Mangala barged over on the halfway line by Cipriano, who's starting to put himself about for Peterborough. Mangala back on his feet. Forward pass to Beto, who's the only real striker option, fully fit for Everton at the moment. Although Broja is on the bench tonight. Armstrong does well, gets the ball out to Patterson on the right, tries to go on the outside against Hayes, gets to the byline, crosses in, headed over his own bar by Fernandez, and behind for a corner to Everton.
Yeah, it's a brilliant header by Fernandez, centre back for Peterborough, because Beto is looming, and Beto is a real handful inside the box by the looks of things. He does really well to read it, Fernandez, and just get there first and head it over to now face a corner.
So we've got full commentary on Aston Villa West Ham on 5 Live tomorrow night in the FA Cup. Wycombe Portsmouth will be on Sports Extra. FA Cup kick-off on air from 7 o'clock on 5 Live as Gay waits to take the corner. Bobbly one into the near post. Branthwaite keeps the ball in play, gets it back to Gay. Gay's low pass finds Mangala, couldn't get a shot away. Peterborough clear to the halfway line. Mykolenko heads it straight in the air, and this is danger for Everton because Peterborough are swarming forward in numbers. Con Clark picks a good pass, finds Hayes, slides it in. Jay Jones with a shot, and it's blocked by João Virginia, and it goes behind for a Peterborough corner. Brilliant counter-attacking from the League One team. Yeah, it's magnificent from Peterborough. And do you know what I'm going to say, Ali? They are defending their corner, Peterborough, and they counter-attack, but they're being so brave, leaving players up. They're leaving 3 players up so that they can do exactly that, which is counter-attack. It was a poor header from Mykolenko on the first contact. He heads it straight into the path of Chris Con Clark, who then counters-attacks. And then, now they've got a corner. Well, Mykolenko makes amends. It wasn't actually Virginia who blocked it. It's Mykolenko who gets there in front of his goalkeeper. The keeper may well have saved it. I don't know, though. It may have evaded his grasp. So Mykolenko with the poor header makes a really important block. Now the Peterborough corner. In it comes to that Everton penalty area. Chance at the far post. Shot hit into the 6-yard box. Peterborough fans appealing for something, but they're miles away from the action. Everton fans cheer at them, and Everton get the ball all the way downfield. And Bilokovic, the Peterborough keeper, has it at his feet. So chances at either end here, still 0-0. Everton didn't deal with the corner well. It came all the way to the far post, and Peterborough did manage to get a shot in, but Everton has scrambled it away. Yeah, the noise from the Peterborough fans is amazing, considering, inside Goodison Park where the fans are exceptional, and they've just responded to that moment. I think we do have the famous Everton pillar in front of us, blocking, clear sight of what just happened inside the box. But I think from the noise we can gauge that it was a very close effort from Peterborough inside that 6-yard box. Just having a look on the replay now. I think it was Hayes with the right-footed shot. Everton just getting bodies in the way, but Everton shouldn't really have let that ball get to Hayes in the first place. The rebound didn't quite fall for Peterborough in the 6-yard box, and now they're playing out again with Nevitt inside his own penalty area. Got to be careful there. The offside flag goes up against Everton, so Peterborough will have a chance to clear their lines with the free kick. In terms of watching the FA Cup action on the BBC this weekend, BBC One has 2 games for you. 5:45 Saturday, Manchester City against Salford City, which is also a commentary on Sports Extra. We'll have Leeds Harrogate kicking off at 5:45 on 5 Live on Saturday evening. Arsenal Manchester United Sunday, also on BBC One. You can watch that game, and the 4th round draw will be made after that game at the Emirates Stadium as well. Mangala trying to win a ball on the edge of the Peterborough box, fouls Archie Collins, and Peterborough get the free kick, and their fans go up again. They've got great travelling support tonight. It's a Thursday night, it's freezing cold, it's in January. There was, I mean, quite understandably, there was quite a bit of grumbling about the scheduling of this game, but those Peterborough fans have done a terrific job tonight.
Yeah, they've clearly parked those complaints and got on with it, and they know there's a real incentive here, you know, at Everton, and especially the circumstances that evolved today in the departure of Sean Dyche. They'll just see that as an incentive. But so far so good for Darren Ferguson. I think the side's been brilliant. They've been sharp, they've moved the ball well, looked a little bit vulnerable playing out from the back at times, but I've really liked how brave they've been.
Peterborough take their free kick. Nevitt comes back to the goalkeeper. Bilokovic, slightly loose first touch. Beto gets a block on the clearance. Peterborough get lucky. It's diverted into the path of Hayes. And here's Con Clark picking up space on the left-hand side. Slows things down. Rolls a pass back to Nevitt. Nevitt with his head up all the time, looking for options. Con Clark still there for him. Inside his own half on the left. Back to Nevitt again. Nevitt to the goalkeeper, Bilokovic. Beto's close by. Bilokovic just gets enough on the pass to get it out to the right-hand side. Donnelly's ball forward, controlled by Con Clark, who suddenly pops up in the inside right channel. And then it's O'Brien Brady who goes in to win a tackle, and Peterborough actually get the throw on the right, just inside their own half. It is still goalless.
Yeah, Chris Con Clark is everywhere. He's just the spare man for Peterborough. He's just finding a little space wherever he wants on the pitch, which is causing damage to Everton's structure. And he's just, you know, he's just floating around, just getting on the ball, making things happen. It's really, really good so far.
Throw in Peterborough. Lofty one. Donnelly flicks it on. Ball loose inside the Everton half. Thumped forward by O'Brien. Armstrong chases, covered by Nevitt for now. Awkward bounce, and he shins the ball back towards the dead ball line. And to prevent a corner, all he can do is scuff it away with his left foot, and it goes out for a throw into Everton in an attacking position on the right. Taken quickly by Patterson. Back it comes to Jake O'Brien. O'Brien here finds Keane. Everton back to the halfway line. Branthwaite across to Mangala. Mangala a couple of steps with the ball at his feet, then out wide to Mikalenko. Makes a dart infield. The ball's with Branthwaite though. Here's Mangala again. Mangala, low ball to Gay. Branthwaite forward to Mangala, and Branthwaite just sort of dismissively waves him away and says, get on, get the ball forward, come on. Here's Gay, right in the middle of the Peterborough half. Darren Ferguson, I see, waving a couple of his defenders across to try and cover the danger. Armstrong is able to lay the ball back here to O'Brien. Everton switching it from left to right, and now back to the middle of the pitch to Keane. Keane across to Branthwaite. His cross into the area. Beto's header. Bilokovic saves, leaps high, but it was straight at him.
Yeah, it's a brilliant ball in from that left-hand side. And Beto just leaps the highest in the box. He just doesn't get enough purchase or power on the header just to trouble Kilopovic, but it just heads it back across goal, and as soon as it makes contact with his head, you think this is going to nestle, but it's actually a routine save in the end. But good opportunity for Everton. 2 goals for Beto so far this season. Admittedly, he hasn't started too many games. One came against Doncaster in the League Cup. One was a late equaliser against Fulham in the Premier League. The ball has gone out for a Peterborough throw midway inside their own half on the left. Everton 0, Peterborough 0. Over on Sports Extra, Fulham 1, Watford 1. Watford's goal sounded pretty special. And second half of Sheffield United Cardiff, with Cardiff still leading by a goal to 0. That is third against 23rd in the Championship, but it's Cardiff who lead. Hayes has space on the left for Peterborough. Makes a dart for the byline, drags the ball back, has support here from Kyprianou. Kyprianou, tall, muscular figure in central midfield. Con Clark is the short, stocky one. Back it comes to Kyprianou again. Doesn't see an option forward, so Peterborough play back into their own half. Here's Nevitt. Nevitt again looking for options. Just lays it off to Con Clark, who's deep. And it comes to Fernandez, the middle of the 3 centre-backs. Across to Katongo, who's a young defender on loan from Manchester City at Peterborough. I think Peterborough coming back to their goalkeeper here, Bilokovic, who then clears first time unceremoniously, and Keane heads the ball forward. Little nudge on Mangala. Got a flick on the ball for Everton though, and Jai, trying to escape the attentions of Katongo, manages to do so. Feeds it to Armstrong, and Jai's continue to run. Armstrong, great ball, flag stays down. Beto round the keeper and scores for Everton. A goal at last at Goodison Park. Sean Dyche departs today. Everton were struggling for goals under him.
he didn't often see finishing like that. The pass through was sumptuous, and Beto takes it round the keeper and finds the back of the net. Everton 1, Peterborough 0.
Yeah, it's Harrison Armstrong with an absolutely exquisite pass into the path of Beto, who just beats that offside trap, playing on the shoulder of the centre-backs for Peterborough. Just watching a replay, it's all about Njai, who just gets the ball, causes problems, turns, feeds it into Harrison Armstrong. He just takes a touch and he just feeds the ball into, he's onside. Beto, watching a replay now, he is bang onside. The pass is absolutely perfect. Beto rounds the keeper and a nice clean finish into an empty net.
Great finish by Beto, but as you say, is he fabulous pass, fabulous vision by Armstrong to slide that ball through. Bilokovic came flying out, Beto saw him coming, took it round the goalkeeper, and Everton lead Peterborough by a goal to 0, which has livened the stadium up somewhat with a couple of minutes remaining in this first half. O'Brien Brady is on the ball for Peterborough, comes back to his goalkeeper Bilokovic, up towards Con Clark, lay off from him, reaches Kyprianou, low pass, swerving out to Hayes. Hayes with a little chop infield, gets away from Armstrong. Mangala is there to get a block on the ball. Armstrong back to Mangala. Everton passing it around, first touch stuff inside their own half. Control of the game now against the League One team, leading by a goal to 0. Here's Keane.
I just saw a replay of Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman.
Oh yeah.
And you couldn't epitomise their characters more in that little snippet after the goal was scored, because Seamus Coleman was trying to get Leighton Baines all G'd up, that sort of passionate Evertonian that Seamus Coleman is, and Leighton Baines staying calm, staying cool, walking away from him, just having a moment.
Over 800 appearances for Everton Football Club between the pair, and Seamus Coleman there has seen something he doesn't like, so he is out to the edge of the pitch to say something about it. Leighton Baines started in the Everton team that featured in the FA Cup final 2009, scored early through Louis Sahar, but lost the game to Chelsea by 2-1. Currently in charge of the under-18s at Everton, stepping in to do the job tonight. And it's one of his players, as you said, who's found the moment of magic. The pass through to Beto, and Beto did take it well. Good first touch round the keeper and slotted it into the back of the net. So where will Everton go from here with the game? We've got a minute left in the first half. Mangala to Gay, about 35 yards, 40 yards out from the Peterborough goal, and Jai's in a central position. O'Brien, slide pass to Patterson on the right, outside of his right foot. Beto's found space again. What can he do with it? Cross into Fernandez, hits the Peterborough defender. It's an Everton corner.
Yeah, I think Beto, after his goal, he gets himself into another good situation just there, but he's got to do better, because he's the one that makes the run into the sort of channel, and he's the one who's going to have to provide the cross from Njai. And Mikalenko attacking the backstick area, but he just doesn't get the cross in. And I think that's where Beto, it's been a slow start in an Everton shirt. I remember it was the cup competition last year in the EFL Cup that kind of got his Everton career rolling with his goal in that competition against Doncaster in the earlier rounds. But he just needs to find that consistency. And with Broja and Dom Calvert-Lewin, I think it's going to be difficult for him to keep a place in the team.
Beto with a flick on inside the Peterborough half, cleared by Fernandez. 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half, and the ball has gone out for a throw-in to Everton on the right. FA Cup kickoff, preview show of a big FA Cup weekend. 7 o'clock 5 Live tomorrow night. 8 o'clock commentary on Aston Villa against West Ham. 5 FA Cup commentaries on 5 Live and Sports Extra on Saturday on 5 Live. It starts at Ashton Gate with the midday kickoff. Bristol City against Wolves. Liverpool against Accrington kicks off at 12:15. That'll be on Sports Extra. Michael Keane steps in to intercept a ball on the halfway line. Can Everton find a second goal late in the first half? Here's Patterson on the right. Armstrong makes a dummy run. Patterson brings the ball infield, backheels it to himself. Con Clark saw an opportunity to nip in and win the ball, trying to dribble out of trouble, runs into Armstrong. Now Nevitt has the ball for Peterborough, clears from the left back position, high spinning ball, headed to his left by Branthwaite. Jay Jones is onto it. He's on his own for Peterborough here. He's chased by 3 Everton defenders. Great speed into the box, shoots at the near post. Virginia blocks, and it goes behind for what would have been a Peterborough corner. No time, because the half-time whistle blows at Goodison Park. An eventful day at this football club. The Free King group have made a big decision. Sean Dyche dismissed today. Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman in charge of the team. Sluggish start by Everton in this game against Peterborough, but a moment of quality, Izzy Christiansen, late in the first half. It was Harrison Armstrong's pass and Beto's finish that has them in front.
Yeah, just an ordinary day at Everton Football Club, but I tell you what was out of the ordinary of late, that goal. And that's exactly what the fans wanted to see. A brilliant bit of play by Harrison Armstrong, who's come off the bench. He's come into the team under Leighton Baines, and he just looked so good, so intelligent, and it was no surprise that it was him providing that assist for Beto. A wonderful bit of play. The first bit of quality we've seen aside from that Mangala shot that hit the bar, but that goal was needed for Everton towards half-time.
It was. They've not scored many goals this season. They have won tonight. Beto, the goal scorer, FA Cup third round, half-time at Goodison Park. It's Everton 1, Peterborough 0.
Well, we'll be back with Ali and Izzy for second half commentary from Goodison. Andros Townsend, former Everton and England winger, is with us tonight as well on 5 Live Sport. I mean, Andros, I think it's, 312 minutes that Everton went without a goal at home, but finally they got one from Beto.
Yeah, and I think you could see why it's surprising it was quite flat. We spoke before the game that we thought Goodison would be bouncing. It's pretty much a sellout, but it's quite flat, and the players started that way. They had a bit of an overload at the back with the 3 at the back and 2 up front for Peterborough. So they had the overload with the 2 wide centre-backs, but they didn't really have any real urgency when those centre-halves had the ball. There was no penetrating passes or dribbling into spaces. And yeah, that's how the first half kind of went. And there was only a bit of quality at the end from academy graduate Harrison Armstrong, which cut Peterborough open and got them the lead. But other than that, it was quite a subdued performance this far.
I mean, Peterborough have been in this, haven't they?
They have. They've had chances, especially Jay Jones with his pace on the counter-attack. They had the corner, which I'm sure they'll look to score in the second half as well from a set piece, but they've definitely got that counter-attacking threat. And while Jay Jones is on the pitch with his pace, they're in this game.
Really interesting. 1-0 to Everton at half-time at Goodison, but a tie that is far from over. 2 other FA Cup third-round ties tonight. Let's head to the early kick-off. Sheffield United against Cardiff and Charlie Slater.
Where Cardiff continue to lead. Around 10 or so minutes remaining in this one, and Andros talked about a flat atmosphere at Goodison. There are only 6,000 people at Bramwell Lane this evening. Fair, I guess, given it's going to be about -9 in the early hours of the morning. It is a very cold night, but the Sheffield United players have given their fans nothing to cheer about. Nothing to warm them up. The closest they've come to an equaliser was from Ryan Brewster, who drew a good save out of Ethan Horvath. That's as close as they've come, though. Sheffield United 0, Cardiff 1.
And it's half-time between Fulham and Watford. John Southall is at Craven Cottage.
It is. It's Fulham 1, Watford 1. Fulham have dominated the half, but level at half-time we are. They took the lead through a really good first-time finish from Rodrigo Muniz. Just before that, Joachim Andersen intervention denied Tom Ince. Then the equaliser. You'll see this on goals of the third round. Rocco Vata picked it up just inside his own half. The Fulham defenders just backed off him, and he thumped it in from close on 30 yards, top right-hand corner. An absolute brilliant finish. You will do well to see a better goal this weekend. Half-time, Fulham 1, Watford 1.
And one match in the Scottish Premiership tonight. Dundee taking on Rangers. Kenny Crawford is at Dens Park.
37 minutes gone early. It's exploded into life in the last few minutes here. It's now Dundee 1, Rangers 1. Rangers getting the equaliser they so craved. It was Vaclav Černý, the Czech Republic winger, on loan from Wolfsburg, who was in the right place on the right-hand side, set up by Hamza Igaman, the Moroccan, on the counter-attack, and from a tight angle, Černý smashed in his 11th goal of the season under the goalkeeper Trevor Carson to make it Dundee 1, Rangers 1.
So it's FA Cup third round weekend, and we're bringing you the first of 11 commentaries here on 5 Live and 5 Sports Extra. This evening on 5 Live Sport, tomorrow night, we've got Aston Villa against West Ham, Graham Potter's West Ham, we should say now. On Saturday, Bristol City Wolves from midday, Brentford against Plymouth at 3, and Leeds against Harrogate at 5:45. On Sunday, it's Tamworth against Tottenham at 12:30, followed by Newcastle Bromley at 3 o'clock. And during this half-time interval, we'll be talking to a man who's hoping to make a name for himself for Accrington Stanley, who'll be going to Anfield on Saturday. But first, let's get the news on 5 Live with Stuart Clarkson.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Ellie, thank you. Good evening. Officials in Los Angeles say the 2 massive wildfires ravaging the city are still totally uncontained, and people in the affected areas must be ready to leave their homes if ordered. Some of the smaller fires have been tackled successfully. That's allowed evacuation orders to be lifted in some parts of the city now. The LA Mayor is Karen Bass.
We continue to confront a big 1-level firestorm. Historic winds and extensive drought have created a perfect storm that has driven people from their homes and have taken people's homes, and that has taken people's lives. I've been in the fire zones, and you can see how fast and devastating these wind-driven fires are.
We'll have more on this with Tony Livesey here on 5 Live, of course, from 10 o'clock tonight as well. Also this evening, there's concern about the state of the economy after the pound dropped to its lowest level in more than a year and government borrowing costs surged to a 16-year high. The former Chancellor Lord Hammond has warned the economy's in a fragile state, but the Treasury insists there's no need for an emergency intervention. Pressure on the NHS is reaching levels not seen since the height of the pandemic as the number of flu cases continues to rise. This is according to the NHS Medical Director. The latest figures for England show they were on average almost 5,500 patients in hospital every day with flu and more than 250 with the virus in critical care. The state funeral of the former US President Jimmy Carter has been held in Washington. He died last month aged 100. All 4 living former presidents attended the service and Joe Biden delivered the main eulogy. Gary O'Donoghue's outside the cathedral.
You saw, I think, in the funeral service itself a mixture of sombre reflection, of tribute, really of shaping the legacy, and some humour as well from some of those who spoke about Jimmy Carter. A lot of warmth, a lot of real kind of honour towards his time, particularly after his presidency and his achievements.
And temperatures in parts of the UK could fall below minus 16 degrees Celsius tonight. New weather warnings have been issued with snow, ice and fog forecast across southern England, Wales, Northern Ireland and northern Scotland.
The Football Daily Podcast.
I'm Ian Dennis, John Murray, Ali Bruce-Ball and myself are 5 Live football commentators. We'll be hosting and getting together on a new podcast on the Football Daily feed,
bringing our own insight into what it's like being in the commentary box and in the media areas.
If anyone's tuned in for this wondering what commentators we're going to talk about and thought it might be a little bit geeky, then they've got exactly that in the first 5 minutes.
Inside John. From Wembley to Wrexham and from Bradford to the Bernabeu, the commentator's view
on the Football Daily feed.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is 5 Live Sport
with Eleanor Oldroyd.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
And we've second half commentary to come of Everton against Peterborough United from Goodison Park, 1-0 to Everton at half-time. A reminder that Fulham-Watford is 1-1 and their second half commentary on that on Sports Extra. Now, the 2025 Australian Open starts on Sunday with commentary of every night session on Tennis Breakfast from 7am. Listen on 5 Sports Extra and on BBC Sounds. And while we saw the end of Andy Murray as a player last year, he is back as the coach of a man who has won the title 10 times, Novak Djokovic.
I was on the 17th hole golf course and the guy I was playing with said to me, "Do you know what's next?" I was like, "No, not really." He said, "Do you have any plans to do any coaching?" I said, "Honestly, I can't think of anything worse to do right now." And then 30 minutes later I was in the car, called Novak, and then we had a conversation and he asked if I would be interested in helping, which I obviously wasn't expecting. I said to him, I need to think about it and talk to my family and stuff, and so I did, spoke to them, and after a couple of days thought that it was a pretty unique opportunity and experience. I thought it would be a good idea to try it together and to spend some time in the off season and through Australia and see how it goes for both of us, because it's a little bit different. It's it's not the usual kind of setup, so it made sense to trial it and see if it works. And then we said we'd make a more definitive decision after the tournament. Hopefully, as a coach, I'm able to see the game through Novak's eyes and help him with the right strategy on the court. I think in many ways we're quite similar characters, so I would hope I would empathise with him, on the court, like I said, when he's finding it stressful or, and understanding those emotions. I think I would hope I can help with that. I know it's not easy out there and it's stressful, and at times he's going to want to vent, towards his team and his box, and providing that he's giving his best effort and trying as hard as he can, I'm absolutely fine with him, expressing himself how he wants.
Well, that was Andy Murray. Of course, Novak Djokovic will start against a wild card, but he could meet Carlos Alcaraz in the quarterfinals. The popcorn draw in terms of Brits is for Jacob Fernley. He plays Nick Kyrgios in the first round. Emma Raducanu has the 26th seed, Ekaterina Alexandrova. Right, let's turn our attention back to the football because, as I mentioned, Everton against Peterborough is the first of 11 FA Cup third round commentaries on 5 Live and Sports Extra this weekend. All continues tomorrow evening with Aston Villa against West Ham from 8. Looking ahead to Saturday's ties, one of the standouts is League 2 Accrington Stanley's trip to Anfield to take on Premier League leaders Liverpool. And I'm delighted to say their midfielder Ben Woods joins us now. Evening to you, Ben.
Evening, you okay?
Yeah, good, thank you. I've got Andros Townsend on the line as well to speak to you.
Evening, Ben.
Evening, Andros. You're right.
I'm very good. Yourself?
Okay.
Good, right. Well, we might get Andros to give you some advice as a man who's played in a few FA Cup ties in his time as well. But before we do that, Ben, I mean, we need to kind of clarify where you're coming from. So you're a Man United fan. You actually joined the United Academy from Liverpool, though. Is that right?
Yeah, well, Andros will probably know himself. When you're younger, you can go around, you can train at a few different clubs and get a feel of which you like the best. And obviously, I was at United and Liverpool as a youngster, and then I chose to sign for United. So, yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Yeah. And so what was your journey from United to Accrington?
So I was at United for quite a large period of my youth career. Then I went to Burnley for 4 or 5 years, and then I had a little stop in Inverness in Scotland, and then now I'm at Accrington now.
Wow, that is quite a journey. I'm guessing that as a United fan, you must be even more motivated to get a win at Anfield.
Oh yeah, definitely. It'll be it'll make my Saturday, that's for sure. I mean, I've played against Liverpool quite a lot throughout my youth career, sort of thing, playing the academy and that, but it's not going to be the same as actually playing at Anfield in front of the 60,000 and playing the first team. I've never done that before, so yeah.
What's the build up been like? Is it just enjoy the occasion, or are you going through videos of Liverpool and trying to pick out areas that you can sort of expose them?
I think it's a bit of both. The managers hit the nail on the head today. He says, obviously, first and foremost, you've got to enjoy the week, you've got to enjoy the game, you've got to enjoy the occasion, because for the likes of Accrington Stanley, these games don't come around every week, so you've got to enjoy it. But yeah, we've gone through the video today, and I'm sure we'll do a bit more tomorrow. And yeah, like any game, we're going to try and cause an upset, and we're going to try and win. I
was going to say, you could pretty much just watch Match of the Day every weekend, couldn't you?
I suppose so, yeah, but it's a bit more, you have to go into a bit more detail on that, I think.
Have you found any weaknesses then? Can you let us in on a secret?
Well, I don't want to give them away, it's not my business, you never know.
The secret plan to defeat Liverpool at Anfield. I mean, are there a few Liverpool players in your squad as well? Liverpool fans rather in the Accrington squad.
Yeah, we've got quite a few Liverpool-based lads. Some are Blues, some are Reds, more Reds than off them. But we've kind of just had a chat between ourselves and with the staff, and that we know obviously how good Liverpool are and how they're playing this season, especially. So we know it's going to be tough, but we've got to all stick together. Whether you're a United fan, Liverpool fan, Everton fan, play at Accrington Stanley, so we're all on board together, and everyone wants the same goal. So we're all in it together, and hopefully we can, like I say, go there and cause an upset.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys, is there a plan to sort of capitalise on the fact that Liverpool have lost their last few games or have had indecent results in their last few games, and do you think you can go there with a high tempo early on and sort of get the crowd turning a little bit, if that makes sense? Is that a plan for you guys?
Yeah, you could say that. That's kind of how we play anyway. So we always start and play on the front foot and get into the face of any team. And obviously we're going to have to be wary because we don't normally come up against teams that are as good and have got such good players as Liverpool. Respect to League Two, but like I said before, Liverpool are probably one of, if not the best teams in the world right now. So we've got to obviously show our respect, but we'll go there with a plan. We'll go there with our own unique style, and we'll go there and try and get something out of the game. But whatever we want to get out of it, I'm sure we'll do our best to do that.
In years gone by, Ben, we would have said, well, if you can hold them to a draw at Anfield, you can get them back to your place. But that doesn't happen now, does it? Are you sorry that there aren't replays in the FA Cup now?
Yeah, you could say that. I think it works better when you've got the home draw and you play for a draw, so you can get your big day out at the likes of Anfield. But in this case, we've obviously got the fixtures at Anfield anyway, so we're buzzing with that, really. We really want to go there. It's a good day out for the fans. It's a good day out for the players, the staff, everyone, and obviously it helps the club financially. So, but yeah, the replay situation, I know it's turned a few heads and people don't like it, but for us this time it's worked out in our favour because we've got the draw at Anfield. So yeah, we're not too fussed about that this year.
Yeah. Well, look, we wish you all the luck, of course, Ben, with the trip to Liverpool, and enjoy the weekend as your manager says as well.
I will do. Thanks, guys.
Great stuff.
All the best, Ben. Take care.
Thanks so much, Ben. Ben Woods, Accrington Stanley midfielder. They play Liverpool. Just a thought from you, Andros, before we head back to the second half at Goodison. Can Everton hang on to that lead, or are they going to have to try and go for more?
I think Everton, now they've got the goal, they can be patient, they can keep possession, and the longer the game goes on, the more Peterborough will have to come out. They'll have to commit men higher up the pitch, and then the spaces will appear for the Ndiayes and the Armstrongs and the Betos of this world to get on the ball, get turned and make Peterborough pay. So for Everton, it's just about patience now and making sure you keep possession and avoid the counter-attack, and the game will come to you later on in the game.
Well, players are out for the second half at Goodison. And Ali Bruce Ball, we talked, didn't we, before kick-off about father and son on the young side, so Ashley and Tyler. But you've got father and son on the Fergusons as well at Goodison this evening.
Yes, I did wonder whether Sir Alex Ferguson might be here. Understandably, obviously, he takes a very keen interest in his son's career as manager of Peterborough United. As we were saying, his fourth spell in charge of Peterborough. So, Dad, Sir Alex is here in the Goodison Road stand nearby us, watching the action tonight. Peterborough's team have played pretty well so far this evening, but they are trailing Everton by 1-0, and they made a change at half-time as well. Oscar Wallin, Swedish centre-back in his first season at the club, has come on for Peterborough. I'm going to have to work out who he's actually replaced in the Peterborough team, but I'll do that in just a second. Need to get the stopwatch started for the second half as well. As Everton in the blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks, playing from left to right in this second half. And they lead through Beto's goal late in the first half, which was expertly taken from the through ball by 17-year-old Harrison Armstrong. So yes, Sir Alex Ferguson is here. 5 times an FA Cup winner as a manager. Only Arsene Wenger with 7. And George Ramsey, an Aston Villa manager from back in the day, can beat that. Here is Wallin for Peterborough, who's on the right side of the Peterborough defence at the moment. Plays the ball back in towards Emmanuel Fernandez. Peterborough all in white shirts, white shorts, white socks, playing from left to right in this second half, and comfortable on the ball at the moment as they were in the first half. Cipriano playing a pass forward here to Con Clark, who's looked really dangerous. There's Wallin. Wallin plays across his own half to Archie Collins in midfield. Katongo now gets on the ball inside the Everton half on the left-hand side. It goes out to Hayes on that left-hand side. Con Clark making a run through the middle. Ball comes forward. Keane is there to head it away for Everton, and Patterson plays a pass for Everton into the midfield. Gay is up towards Beto. Beto battling for the ball on the halfway line. Everton still have it with Keane. Keane comes running forward, spots space for Everton to exploit. Here's Mikalenko. Mikalenko's pass with his left foot into the edge of the penalty area. Ndiaye is trying to turn. 2 defenders for company. Goes running with the ball across the face of the box. Now plays it to Patterson on the right. His pass goes astray, but Gay is there to win a ball just outside the Peterborough penalty area. Everton recycle possession and have it with Michael Keane again. Keane inside the centre circle, sees space on the right-hand side. Again looks for Patterson, wins a header, nods it forward. Armstrong will chase, he won't catch it. shoves Katongo over. The ball goes behind anyway for a goal kick, and the full-time whistle has blown. So first FA Cup third round tie of the weekend decided at Bramall Lane. Charlie Slater.
Sheffield United 0, Cardiff 1. A night that'll be remembered more for the cold than the football. Cardiff's goal came from Cian Ashford inside the first 20 minutes. Their mini unbeaten run now extends to 4, and Sheffield United are out after losing 1-0 to Cardiff.
George Nevitt, the man replaced by Oscar Wallin here for Peterborough. Penalty at Craven Cottage. John Southall.
Penalty for Fulham. Fulham 1, Watford 1. Raul Jimenez substitute, second half substitute, is about to take it with his blue boots on the edge of the penalty area in front of the Hammersmith end. The referee's just getting everybody out of the penalty area. Remember, Fulham took the lead. Watford equalised with a stunning goal in the first half, and here comes Jimenez. 9 goals so far this season. Just takes a stutter and puts it into the right hand corner. Fulham 2, Watford 1.
Scored 2 penalties against Ipswich in the last Premier League game. Takes a mean penalty, does Raul Jimenez, in good form this season. So Fulham leading Watford by 2-1. Commentary continues on Radio 5 Sports Extra. So George Nevitt off, Oscar Wallin on for Peterborough in this second half. Everton leading Peterborough by 1-0. And Hayes, the Irishman, attacking down the left with speed, gets to the byline, cross hits the defender, goes behind for a Peterborough corner, and this corner will be taken right in front of the Peterborough faithful, packed into that Bullen's Road stand opposite side of the pitch to us, and you could see Con Clark there as he'd go over and really try and get him going again.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cian Hayes, the left wing back for Peterborough, just providing this opportunity for them to get the fans off their feet and try and get back into this game early in the second half.
3.5 minutes gone in the second half. Con Clark will take the corner with his right foot, swinging delivery, good catch by João Virginia in goal for Everton tonight in place of Jordan Pickford. So Virginia in goal. Jake O'Brien, Michael Keane, Jared Branthwaite, the 3 centre-backs. Team picked by Sean Dyche ahead of this game. Sean Dyche relieved of his duties as Everton boss a few hours before kick-off, though. Nathan Patterson, right wing-back. Mikalenko on the left-hand side. Mangala and Gay in central midfield. Harrison Armstrong, Illiman and Jai either side of the goal scorer Beto. Here is the 17-year-old Armstrong inside the Peterborough half. 1-2 with Beto. Space for Everton to work with on the right. Patterson's cross into the near post. Peterborough get a block in at the near post. Hayes clears, and it's turned into a really good pass up the middle of the field. And Peterborough trying to bring it away. There's a foul there inside the centre circle. Michael Keane comes in with the challenge, and it's Gustav Lindgren who is fouled. So that's a second substitution I didn't spot at the start of the second half. Ricky J. Jones is off. Gustav Lindgren, Swedish striker, only just joined the club. Debut here for Peterborough, starting now this second half through the middle as the centre forward. So 2 changes at half-time for Peterborough. Lindgren on for J. Jones, and Oscar Wallin, the other Swede, has come on here for George Nevitt. And of course we have the potential dream storyline of Ashley Young, father, and Tyler Young's son, both coming off the bench for the 2 clubs later on in this second half. If it remains Everton 1, Peterborough 0 going into the last 10 minutes, do you see that happening, Izzy?
Gosh, tight, really tight. You know, Everton really need to push for that second goal cushion, but just going back to Lindgren coming on down the middle for Peterborough, the Swedish number 9.
Yeah.
Swedish strikers are the thing at the moment, aren't they? With Isak and Gyökeres, and you know, there's so many trends and fashions in football. Let's see what this guy's got. He's making some good channel runs early on. He's clearly been assigned the task to spin Michael Keane and Branthwaite into the channels and get the Everton back 4-5 disrupted, if you like.
Wallin's ball to Kyprianou, first time pass intercepted by Branthwaite for Everton. Back here to Mikalenko, and Mikalenko comes back to his goalkeeper Virginia, who just side foots a ball into the feet of Michael Keane. So Wallin is the right-sided centre-back for Peterborough. Emmanuel Fernandez still in the middle. Katongo on the left-hand side of the 3. Everton attacking down the right. Brilliant by Patterson. Little nutmeg on Hayes. Into the penalty area he goes. Here's the cutback. Gay shoots over the bar. Good chance for Everton. He was closed down quickly, the Everton skipper tonight, as he took the shot, and he couldn't get it on target.
Yeah, it's again brilliant play down that right-hand side for Everton between Patterson and Harrison Armstrong. Just Harrison Armstrong dropping deep. Patterson getting on his bike and Harrison Armstrong just put a really clean pass into the channel for Patterson, who cuts it back to Idrissa Gueye, who just arrives onto it as a late running midfielder into the box, but he skies it. But really good play from Everton, nice patterns.
Nicholas Bilokovic, the Australian, is the goalkeeper for Peterborough. The wing-backs are 19-year-old James Dornelly, the Irishman Cian Hayes on the left-hand side, Hector Cipriano, Archie Collins, a very experienced duo in central midfield, Chris Con-Clark, short, stocky number 9, who's been finding all sorts of pockets of space for Peterborough so far this evening, and now Gustav Lindgren on for his Peterborough debut, and Donny O'Brien Brady, the other player in that Peterborough midfield. So those are your two lineups. 7 minutes into the second half, Everton leading Peterborough by 1-0, playing for a place in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Mangala towards Armstrong, goes out to Patterson on the right hand side. Back it comes here to Michael Keane. Keane forward to Gueye, gives it straight back to Keane, 10 yards inside his own half. Cross to Branthwaite, Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman, the two men in charge of Everton tonight, following the departure of Sean Dyche just hours before kick-off here at Goodison Park. Patterson flicks the ball with his right foot, nearly runs to Beto. Cipriano onto it for Peterborough, a little drag back, clever, gets himself away from Gueye inside his own half. Then the raking pass over the top down the left-hand side looks really well measured. Chased by Hayes, keeps it in play just in front of the Peterborough fans. Challenged heavily, goes down and stays down. And for the moment, I think that is just is that a throw-in or a free kick for Peterborough?
I think it's either a throw-in or a corner, but it's a really good battle down that left-hand side between Patterson and Hayes, both making surging runs. Caitlin Hayes on the attacking run, Patterson on the recovery run, but you can just see here on the replay, there is contact from Patterson into Hayes, and it just shoves him off the pitch, and he's landed on the tarmac. That's going to be a painful one. It's going to take him he's up now. What a warrior, but that was a big challenge from Patterson to shove him off the pitch.
It's a barge by Patterson, and it's a free shot really, because Hayes is off balance and he's trying to keep the ball in play, and he just hits him hard and knocks him to the floor. Hayes back on his feet, and corner for Peterborough, as he said, delivered by Con-Clark into the near post. Katongo challenges for it, Everton get it away. Gueye comes chasing out to the right hand side, slides in and knocks the ball out of play. In terms of sort of unusual timings of managerial departures, that is one of the things we'll be discussing on the Commentator's View podcast, which will be available for you on the BBC Sounds app at about midday tomorrow, recording that early tomorrow morning. So we'll be talking about managers getting fired at half-time, or possibly, unbeknownst to them, managing a game when fans inside the stadium already know that they've been dismissed, because that has certainly been known to happen, as O'Brien plays a lofted ball with his right foot on the half volley into the Peterborough half. Katongo's across and knocks it out of play for an Everton throw in an attacking position. Back to Craven Cottage, John Southall.
Fulham 2, Watford 1, could have been 3. Jimenez on the byline, pulled it back to Smith Rowe, saved by Bond, smothered it out for a corner kick. And the debate on the penalty alley is whether, when he was brought down, Traoré, was he in the penalty area? Having seen a replay, I think it was the right decision on the line when he went down from the challenge from Porteous. Fulham 2, Watford 1.
And that's the other point worth making, actually, John, because it relates to the goal that we saw here tonight, which is a tight offside call and the flag stayed down. No VAR, 3rd round, 4th round of the FA Cup, to make sure it's a level playing field for all the teams across the competition. Once we get to the 5th round, VAR will be at every game, whichever the ground. They will make sure that it is involved at the stadium in all of the matches. And also, no replays at this stage this season, so extra time and penalties if we're level after the 90 minutes. Scottish Premiership, Dundee playing Rangers tonight. This one kicked off at 8. Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, second half just underway, Ali. Still Dundee 1, Rangers 1. Dundee taking that early lead through Ollie Adewumi on loan from Burnley. He turned in Josh Mulligan's cutback. Nice finish for his 3rd goal of the season, the Austrian. But then Václav Černý equalised on 34 minutes, his 11th of the season. So we'll see what unfolds in this next 45 minutes. Dundee 1, Rangers 1.
Harrison Armstrong, the 17-year-old for Everton, playing a bit of keep ball down by the corner flag on the right for Everton. He's done really well for his team there. 2 defenders on him, kept the ball, and eventually has won the free kick. And he was the man who played the fabulous through ball to Beto in the first half to create the goal. So silence falls at Goodison Park for the moment. Hushed anticipation of an Everton set piece. It'll come in wide from the right hand side. Nathan Patterson will take it. It's almost a corner, really, just a yard or two up from the byline on the right. Mangala's lurking on the edge of the D. And there's 5 or 6 blue shirts gathered in the Peterborough penalty area away to our left. Patterson's delivery comes in, far post, headed away. Ball comes bouncing out of the Peterborough penalty area. Mangala gets his pass to Keane. Keane is easily dispossessed. Here's Dornley for Peterborough. Pass works its way down the right. Cipriano wins the first challenge against Gay and then got his head up and was looking for the pass through to Lindgren, but the ball had got away from him, and Keane intercepts for Everton. Izzy Christiansen.
Yeah, they have looked a little bit of a threat, Peterborough, on the counter-attack after, defending a set piece. They've looked to break away quickly, but in that instance the ball just didn't quite fall to Cipriano, the centre midfielder, who's been very industrious in that central role for Peterborough, as you'd expect them playing against Premier League opposition. But there's definitely been an incentive for Peterborough, and the longer they can keep it at 1-0 the better, because they'll fancy themselves to nick something in front of their fans down that left hand side.
I think we might have an issue with Keane He's shirt here, whether there's some blood on it after the challenge with Nathan Patterson, because the referee has blown his whistle here, Thomas Bramall, and stopped the game, and Hayes has been sent here over to the side of the pitch. He's taken his number 18 shirt off, big muddy splodge on the front of it. He's given a replacement shirt and will be back out on the field shortly. The whistle blows and the game is about to get back underway. 13 minutes gone in the second half. Everton leading Peterborough by a 1-0. Talking about the Commentator's View podcast as well, emails please, tcv@bbc.co.uk. We'd love your questions. Here come Everton down the right. Patterson's right-footed cross. Dornley can't quite get his head on it. And Jai controls the bouncing ball just inside the penalty area on the left, teasing Dornley. Plays it back to Mangala, who immediately gives it back to Njai. Great control of the ball, close control. Looks for the 1-2 with Gay. Everton lose it. Lindgren, lot to do here, the Swedish striker. Poor Peterborough, and Gay gets back at him, gets a foot on the ball, and O'Brien is able to take possession for Everton. Turns and finds Michael Keane.
Yeah, well, that's again another one of those transition moments that Peterborough are looking to break with. I did actually think that Ricky J. Jones did a really good job in the first half. Perhaps there was an issue because he was substituted at half-time, but it doesn't seem that Lindgren has a similar amount of pace to Ricky J. Jones. But do you know what I really like about Con Clark? He's that player we spoke about in the centre of midfield for Peterborough, picking up really good positions. He knows his strengths. He knows he's not the quickest guy in the world. So what he did there was he just checked his run and he offered support to Lindgren, but he didn't get the ball. But you can tell he's thinking a step ahead. He wants to be on the ball. He wants the ball at his feet because he knows he can make something happen.
Cipriano fouls and Jai on the halfway line, was struggling to deal with him, had a hold of him, so Everton get the free kick. They play it across to the right-hand side of the field. Harrison Armstrong takes the ball on the turn, slides another pass into the path of Beto. Beto's cut back to the edge of the box looking for Mangala. Archie Collins read it for Peterborough. Peterborough struggling to get it away. Hayes sort of miscues a clearance. There's Armstrong again. Cross comes in from the right-hand side from Mangala. That's blocked and goes behind for an Everton corner, who would dearly, dearly love a second goal just to give themselves that cushion. Try and make it through to the fourth round of the FA Cup nice and comfortably tonight, and then think about Premier League challenges next week at home against Aston Villa, when the Freaking Group say they hope they will have a new man in the dugout for Everton. So we'll keep you posted on that one. All the reaction in the Football Daily podcast, available for you later tonight, tomorrow morning, via the BBC Sounds app. High corner into the far post, nodded down by O'Brien. Did it hit a hand in there? Free kick for Peterborough. Can't see.
To be fair, I did. I've got slightly left angle to you. But between the two of us, we are quite restricted, aren't we? It just did hit Jake O'Brien's hand on as the ball bounced up off the second phase of the corner. The referee saw it, and Peterborough just looked to try and transition again really quickly, but Everton were pretty sharp to stand over the ball and delay it.
Fulham leading Watford by 2-1. Commentary continues on Sports Extra. Dundee 1, Rangers 1 in the Scottish Premiership. Here's Katongo for Peterborough inside his own half. Still only a goal down. Still very much in this cup tie. Still looking for a famous upset. As I said at the start of the night, only once in their history have they beaten a team in the FA Cup from the top flight of English football. It was against an Arsenal team back in 1965. And here they come, Peterborough. Brian Brady plays it to the left-hand side. Hayes back onto his right foot. O'Brien Brady is there in support. Corner of the Everton penalty area. Katongo side foots a pass here to Fernandez. Fernandez into midfield. Cipriano plays it back to Wallin, a big tall Swede who wears the number 5 for Peterborough. Peterborough though forced all the way back to their goalkeeper here, Bilokovic, standing just outside his own penalty area. Passes into midfield to Collins. Cipriano tries to find O'Brien Brady. The ball runs to Hayes. Hayes flicks it infield to Con-Clark. Hayes wants a return ball here. Goes steaming away down the left. Con-Clark holds on to it. Gets support from O'Brien Brady on the outside. Head up. Cross comes into the penalty area. Chested down by Dorneley. Inside the box. So much space there for a second. Peterborough looking to get a shot away. Linkren goes running into a load of bodies. Just couldn't get the ball in a position to pull the trigger and hit the shot. Fernandez is going to hit one from long range. Big deflection. And the ball goes harmlessly into the Everton box, and Virginia is able to come sprinting across to pick it up.
Yeah, superb build-up play from Peterborough. Brilliant the way they work it down that left-hand side. And again, shock horror. It's Chris Con-Clark who's at the heart of it. He creates that moment where they fizzed it across, wing-back to wing-back in Donnelly, arriving at the back post completely unmarked. No one was near him. If his first touch was slightly better, he could have set himself up for that shot. A cross goal on his right foot, but it just didn't quite fall to him. But a brilliant build-up play from Peterborough.
Everton win a free kick. Challenge on Beto midway inside the Everton half. Peterborough fans, as you can hear, plenty of them inside Goodison Park tonight, not happy with the decision. First team through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. Cardiff City beating Sheffield United by 1-0 at Bramall Lane. Peterborough waiting to make another change. Ryan de Havilland will come on and he'll replace Cipriano in midfield. And I say that Peterborough have only ever beaten one team from the top flight in their FA Cup history. Their last win against the top flight team, I mean, this is what you get when you go digging around doing your research for the games, came against Liverpool back in 1991 in a 4th round League Cup tie. The draw for the quarterfinals of the League Cup that season was made at Trump Tower on the St and Grevesy programme by Donald Trump.
Wow. Gosh, Ali.
There we go.
You are
a well
of knowledge.
I know, I was just enjoying sort of digging around. And I think they got Middlesbrough. Donald Trump was pulling the away teams, so Peterborough got drawn at home. He pulled out Middlesbrough. It was a draw in the first game, and they lost in the replay. But they did beat Liverpool that season, so that's Peterborough's last win against the top flight team. Another goal at Craven Cottage. John Southall.
Yeah, it could be all over now. Fulham 3, Watford 1. Joachim Andersen with a second bite of the cherry on the half volley into the bottom corner. Fulham 3, Watford 1.
Here's Njai, left-hand side for Everton. Good purpose about this build-up. Beto into the box, nearly fell for Mikalenko. Peterborough get enough bodies in the way to get the ball away. Branthwaite does well, or I say does well. Fouls Con-Clark as he wins the ball. Stepped in front of the Peterborough man to take it. And Beto's going to get booked for something he said to the referee. Free kick Peterborough just outside their own penalty area.
Yeah, better first touch from Mikalenko, and he was in. A lovely little disguised reverse pass from Beto into his path. Mikalenko, the on-rushing wing-back that's made the underlap run, not the overlap run. And he just arrives onto it. His first touch just slightly better. He would have got his shot off, but it's good defending again, standing strong by Peterborough, staying in the game.
Young senior is out for Everton, and he's off to go and warm up. So 39-year-old Ashley Young warming up for Everton. No sign of 18-year-old Tyler Young as yet. Everton leading Peterborough by 1-0. Offside against Peterborough. Everton will get the free kick.
I was just about to add then, we are getting into young territory.
We are.
Because it's about that time. The managers are making changes. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. 25 minutes to play. Izzy Christensen is with us here. An FA Cup winner with both Birmingham and Manchester City. Beto trying to get onto a ball, edge of the Peterborough box. Nearly took it off Wallin. Challenge on Beto. In the end comes from Fernandez, and it's gone behind for an Everton corner. Then Beto's on his feet, and he's giving the Everton fans the come on behind that goal away to our left.
Yeah, that's what Beto's all about. Driving into the box. Just that sheer sort of power and pace. And like you say, Ali, as he gets up off his feet, he's just geeing the crowd in behind that Everton goal that they're scoring in the Gladys Street end.
Jack Harrison, Armando Broja, first two subs for Everton. Leighton Baines is chatting to them right now. Corner for Everton from the right. Low delivery, edge of the box. Mangala runs onto it, hits the right-footed shot wide of the target. But that's taken a deflection on the way through. That'll be another corner.
Yeah, a good well-worked corner again from Everton. Patterson with that sort of fizz reverse pass into Mangala, who stood on the edge of the box. Everyone thinks he's going to deliver it. Mangala just arrived onto it. He actually caught it really well. He got a second bite at the cherry now.
Delivery high, looping to the far post. Branthwaite involved in a real tussle at the back there with Wallin. Wallin almost looked like he was pulling Branthwaite's shirt off his back there. Con Clark now goes down. He just felt a little nudge in the back there from Mangala in the right back position. He did not need any further invitation to go toppling to the floor. And I've just spotted my first tinfoil replica FA Cup made by a fan just further down this Goodison Road stand in front of us. So that's the old FA Cup bingo card for the weekend. That one's ticked off. Midway through the second half, Harrison Armstrong comes off, Jack Harrison comes on. Everton fans warmly applauding the efforts of the 17-year-old tonight.
Yeah, he's been probably, for me, the best player on the pitch in terms of game management, game intelligence. So, you know, with young players there's a real eagerness to go and prove yourself, but actually what he's done is quite simple but yet very, very effective. I've really enjoyed his performance, and he got a warm applause there from Leighton Baines, who will be very proud of his performance, I'm sure.
Broja comes on for Beto. Ball over the top for Lindgren to chase. Branthwaite sees the danger. I beg your pardon, it's O'Brien who's back there, gets his body in the way and wins it for Everton. Plays it to Patterson, right-footed ball up towards the halfway line. Centre forward play from Broja. He's lost it though, trying to hold on to that ball. Here's Collins in central midfield to de Havilland. First touch for another one of the Peterborough subs. Dorneley back to Collins. Here is Dorneley playing the ball infield. Con Clark's lost that. Here's Njai for Everton from deep. He's overhit the pass. Broja will not get that in his bright orange boots, and Bilokovic hurries things along because Peterborough are now running out of time. They're still in this tie, Everton leading Peterborough by 1-0.
They're right in this tie completely. They're still playing Peterborough with a similar sort of intent. They're playing through the thirds really nicely. They're getting the wing backs high and advanced and involved, and like you say, Everton just making the change, bringing in Broja.
Here's O'Brien Brady on the left for Peterborough, dummies across with his left foot, gets the ball past Patterson into the near post. Keane heads it away, chested down by Katongo, little flick with his right foot. O'Brien Brady loses it there. Patterson pokes it forward to Harrison outside of his left boot. Broja will go chasing. Wallin's got it covered here for Peterborough, comes sprinting across and side foots a pass back to Bilokovic. So good to see Broja back in action for Everton. Slight concerns for him. Came off against Bournemouth in the last Premier League game that they lost by 1-0. I think he kicked the ground in that game that had caused him a bit of a problem. Peterborough have given the ball away. Branthwaite tries to take it on. He lost it. Mikalenko picks up for Everton. Branthwaite still forward in the attack on the left, midway inside the Peterborough half. Comes back to Gay. Gay, right-footed ball. Cross here to O'Brien. Peterborough player sitting down. I think it might be Katongo deep in the Everton half. Everton continue to play. Looks like a bit of cramp to me that. He's hobbling back to his feet now and desperately trying to get back into his own half. Everton keep the ball on the left with Mikalenko. Mikalenko has options. One of those is Njai. Great first touch. Down to the byline he goes. Cross with the left foot block. Ball spins up in the air and goes behind for an Everton corner.
Yeah, it's more like it from Everton. It's exactly what the fans want to see. Njai getting on the half turn on the corner of that 18-yard box. A lovely little fizz pass in for Mikalenko. He just turns. He's got such a good kind of sense of awareness about him, Njai, and I think can he do it more? Can he get on the ball more? And you know, partly that's the supply line, but partly that's him as well, finding those spaces to play in. But he's just won his side a corner from a really good position.
Dad's about to come on. Ashley Young, 39 years old, FA Cup winner with Manchester United back in the day, amongst other trophies, in a glittering career. So he's waiting to come on. Are we going to see Tyler Young as well? Let's see what Everton can do with the corner. We'll take you back to Craven Cottage as well shortly. Last we heard, Fulham leading Watford by 3-1, although Katongo is still receiving treatment here. Why don't we do that? Let's check in at Craven Cottage. John Southall.
Why not? Fulham 3, Watford 1. Could have been 4. It's all Fulham now. They've made a raft of substitutes. One of them, Josh King, who was a mascot here 6 years ago as a 12-year-old, jinked into the area. His shot into the side netting. Fulham 3, Watford 1.
Dundee Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. Kenny Crawford.
61 minutes gone. Still Dundee 1, Rangers 1. The real chance for Rangers a few minutes ago. Vaclav Černý nearly getting a second of the game. His shot saved by Trevor Carson. Dundee 1, Rangers 1.
Close-up of 18-year-old Tyler Young, still biding his time on the Peterborough bench. Certainly more hair than Dad. Says he's faster than Dad. He's got the Fellaini hair, hasn't he? Which you'll remember from the Everton days.
If you think about the amount of times you played football, I mean, with younger people, and you don't put a tackle in deliberately because you want them to nutmeg you on purpose or whatever. Think about if he comes on tonight, if Tyler Young comes on, I don't think there'll be any of that, will there?
No.
We're going straight through each other.
It'll be great to watch if it happens. Harrison drives the corner in with his left foot. Keane hits a volley into the ground, and it's headed wide by Broja. It was always steeply, just a bit too high from him. Broja couldn't get over the header and keep it down. Difficult to get that on target. It's gone behind for the Peterborough goal kick. So here we go. Nathan Patterson comes off. Ashley Young comes on in the 73rd minute of the game. Darren Ferguson, it's over to you.
Over to you. Yeah, he's been brilliant, Nathan Patterson. He's getting a really warm applause from the Everton fans. I think the rapport between him and Harrison Armstrong down that right-hand side has been really clean. It's been really good to see, and I think the fans have definitely thrived off those moments in the first half in particular.
Everton leading Peterborough by a goal to nil. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. More FA Cup commentaries tomorrow, just in case you're losing track of the days. This is Thursday night. Tomorrow, Friday night, we've got Aston Villa West Ham here on 5 Live, which kicks off at 8. Wycombe Portsmouth. Tough one for Portsmouth, that away at Wycombe. We've been going great guns in League One. That's on Sports Extra. And then 5 FA Cup commentaries coming your way on 5 Live and Sports Extra on Saturday. Some big games on Sunday as well. Tamworth against Tottenham's our 5 Live commentary at 12:30 on Sunday. That is looks like an absolute cracker. John Murray is going to be at that one to paint the pictures for you from a football ground you won't often hear a commentary from. 18-year-old Tyler Young, he's just spotted, is out to warm up for Peterborough. So the moment could be coming. We could be getting father against son in the FA Cup third round at Goodison Park, but there is still plenty to play for here. Everton leading Peterborough by a goal to nil. Floated pass from O'Brien. Ashley Young chases this, gets to the ball, lets it bounce a couple of times. Cross comes in, nearly finds Broja. It's just behind him. Wallin clears. Mangala takes it on the run, controls, back to Young on the right. Young crosses in, that is beyond Broja. Wallin heads this one away. Harrison can't control it. O'Brien chases back. Little ball to Mangala. He's tackled. Harrison onto it again for Everton. Passes to Gay. Gay across to Mikalenko on the left-hand side. Mikalenko to Njai. Manages to hold on to the ball under pressure for Everton. Turns, finds Harrison. Harrison to Gay, inside left channel. 30 yards from goal, wide to Mikalenko. Harrison continues his run on the outside. Offside flag goes up. That will be a free kick for Peterborough. 15 minutes to play. Everton 1, Peterborough 0. You scored a goal in an FA Cup final.
I did,
didn't you, Izzy?
Yeah, I did.
Is that favourite goal you've ever scored?
Do you know what? Somebody asked me this the other day, and I did say that goal, It was... Frank Lampard was my idol growing up in terms of goal-scoring, attacking, minded midfielder. And that goal was that I scored. I just arrived late into the box and the ball bounced and I just caught it on the half volley. And I kind of took the weight off the ball and it just went into the top corner. And it was just one of the most incredible feelings, I must admit.
At Wembley, yeah?
Yeah.
4-1 win against one of your former clubs, Birmingham. Here's Archie Collins. Can't do much with that in the left-back position. The ball goes out for a throw into Everton on the right. The ball has been in the net at Dundee. Doesn't count, Kenny Crawford.
Doesn't count at the moment. Dundee 1, Rangers 1. It was Ollie Adewumi, the on-loan Burnley striker, who had the ball in the back of the net from Simon Murray's square ball. He side-footed it high into the roof of the net. It was disallowed immediately by the linesman, but it's now getting checked by VAR. I think they're hopeful it might stand, obviously, the Dundee fans, but I think there's more chance it won't. It just looks like this is a confirmation, and indeed it's disallowed. So it's Dundee 1, Rangers 1.
James Dornley coming off for Peterborough. It is not Tyler Young just yet, but he's come jogging back to the dugout and is headed sort of out of our view at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see if he comes on. That is 4 substitutions made by Peterborough so far. Abraham Odo has now come on for Peterborough. 1 left. Is it going to be Tyler Young? 15 minutes to play. Everton lead Peterborough by a goal to nil.
I think James Donnelly at right wing back for Peterborough's had a really good game as well. I think his work rate's been excellent. You say he was on loan from Manchester City? Is that right?
That's Katongo.
That's Katongo. My bad.
But Donnelly's only 19.
Nonetheless, he's been excellent.
Yeah.
Really good work rate and putting a really good performance for his team.
Yeah. So Odo has come on and replaced him in that right wing back position. Everton still lead by a goal to nil. Commentary continues on Sports Extra of Fulham against Watford. Here's Harrison. Oh, clever. Flicks the ball up past the defender, chests it down, lays it off to Njai into the penalty area. White shirts around him, he slips, loses his footing. No chance of a penalty there. And Peterborough are going to go quick on the counter here. Long ball over the top, but Con Clark won't get to that, and it goes out for an Everton throw. Why don't we check in at Craven Cottage again? Here's John Southall. Or is he? Oh,
yes,
there he is.
Yes.
Hello, John.
Hello, Ali. Okay, it's Fulham 3-1.
He was reading his notes.
I'm still waiting for the notes, is he, to be honest? Still waiting. Fulham 3, Watford 1. I have to say it's very comfortable for Fulham now. They look like they're going to score every time they go forward. Pereira's just struck the bar from the edge of the penalty area. We played 77 minutes. Fulham 3, Watford 1.
Thank you, John. So Fulham look like they're heading through to the fourth round. Everton are at the moment. Mikalenko chests a crossfield pass down, controls the ball. Odo's in front of him here for Peterborough. Mikalenko's going to try and take him on the outside. Little trick, works it infield, sliding pass, nearly found Njai. Peterborough have cleared it for now. Here's Branthwaite on the turn. Back to Gay. Central position now for Mangala. 35 yards out, outside of his right foot, rolls the pass across to O'Brien. Back to Keane. Keane's high diagonal ball beyond Mikalenko this time, and it goes out for a throw-in to Peterborough. Team selection, we don't know who's going to be in charge actually, is he, for the game against Aston Villa for Everton, but that'll be interesting as well. Wednesday night's team sheet for Everton.
That's right, yeah, and I think, based off tonight, obviously Tarkowski not in the squad, Dom Calvert-Lewin not in the squad, I think ankle injury for him, but I think Jared Branthwaite, he's a mainstay in this team when he's fit, and speaking before the game, Leighton Baines, about a couple of little tweaks he said he was going to make. And I just wonder whether it's the advancement of Jared Branthwaite, because he's been involved a lot in high areas. You just wonder whether under Sean Dyche he would have been pushed that far forward. But hey, what do I know? Could be totally wrong, but that's been something I've noticed tonight.
Here come Peterborough. Hayes on the left-hand side into the Everton penalty area. Driven cross. Hit the foot of someone inside the box. The ball comes out to Njai. Little trick, and he nearly got away, but he was fouled. He was fouled by de Havilland. They tried to play an advantage, but then he lost the ball. They've come back for the Everton free kick.
Yeah, de Havilland just hacks Njai as he cleans up and tries to counter-attack. That speed. Every time he's got on the ball tonight, Njai, the noise levels inside Goodison Park has raised significantly, because they know he needs to start doing, creative moments and creating those chances for players around him.
This game is available on the iPlayer and via the red button tonight if you want to watch the pictures. As I said in the first half as well, you can sync that with the BBC Sounds app if you're clever and you want to continue listening to the 5 Live commentary. The ball is cleared up towards Harrison, who can't control that for Everton. Collins in a 50-50 with Gay. He wins it, heads the ball forward. All got a bit scrappy here. O'Brien Brady, the 20-year-old, gets onto it for Peterborough. Finds de Havilland. De Havilland to Wallin. Looking for Odo on the right. Not enough pace on the pass. Mikalenko steps in, knocks it out for a throw-in to Peterborough, who only trail 1-0. Beto's goal late in the first half, and we've got just over 10 minutes to play. If Peterborough do get an equaliser and we're level at 90 minutes, then it's extra time and penalties. No replays in the FA Cup this season. Here's Katongo. Plays the ball to the left to Hayes. Hayes back to Katongo again. Everton just stand off him. He's just inside the Everton half. Low pass to de Havilland. He takes a touch and comes running forward. Pacey pass finds Odo. Odo just brings the ball infield a few yards from the right-hand touchline. Back to Wallin. Wallin quickly into midfield to O'Brien Brady. Out it comes to Hayes on the left-hand side. Everton holding their defensive shape. Hayes is a tricky runner with the ball, though. Takes Ashley Young on. Gets the cross into the far post. Odo looks to get the header on it. Mikalenko leaps and just flicks it away from him. Finds Njai. Mikalenko continues a run in support. Here he is on the ball. Left-footed pass. Goalkeeper's a long way out here. Bilokovic. And Broja's round him, but he's wide on the left. And Fernandez wins a really important tackle. Looked like a clean tackle, although Broja has stayed down and looks in some trouble for Everton, and Everton certainly don't need that at the moment. Play continues. Everton 1, Peterborough 0, but Broja is prostrate away to our left-hand side, clutching his right leg in both hands.
Yeah, and do you think Peterborough are going to put the ball out? Absolutely not, because they're comfortable in possession inside Everton's half. And to be honest, I think it's the Everton staff, Everton medical staff, they're going straight over to him just so they're next to him. He's right on the side of the pitch.
Yeah, they can't come on the pitch.
Yeah, they can't come on, can they?
They are talking to him. They're both down on bended knee with the medical bags ready to go. trying to get a word to Broja, trying to get some communication. They're actually now waving to the ref and say they need to get on the field here. I think Broja's struggling. Play continues. Cross comes into the Everton box. Branthwaite heads it away. Everton leading Peterborough by 1-0 in the FA Cup third round. Ashley Young's pass down the right-hand side.
Yeah, he just had the chance to put the ball out there, Ashley Young, but I don't think he knows what's going on. It's like the opposite end of the pitch.
Fans are now trying to make the players aware as well. Thomas Bramall's now looking down the field. Broja is still down and seems to be in real discomfort, but still Peterborough attacking. Here's a chance. Lindgren in the box, shoots into the near post, wide of the target, and behind it goes for the goal kick. And the medical staff are on the field. Even before that ball went out of play, they decided to take the decision in their own hands.
Yeah, it's Broja seems like he's in a lot of pain. He's bashing the ground with his fist. Looks like something to his right leg, but the Everton medical staff, they just took matters into their own hands, and rightly so. I'm sorry, but the rules are the rules. But if he's in pain and he needs treatment, he needs staff around him, and that's exactly what he's got now, but maybe 2 minutes too late.
He has had a terrible time with injuries, Armando Broja. They've only just got him back up and running here at Everton, and he's down hurt again. On loan from Chelsea at Goodison Park this season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin missing. Everton struggling for goals. Beto has scored tonight. Still waiting to see if Tyler Young is going to get onto the field, but the Everton medical staff are busy. Just had a look at the replay there. What did you see in the challenge, Izzy?
I didn't see anything that made me wince. It was the initial challenge from the goalkeeper, Bilokovic, who came steaming out, and you could see that was written all over it, a red card for the goalkeeper. Yeah. He didn't make contact with Broja, so obviously that doesn't happen. Broja continues his run, and I didn't quite see who the recovering defender was. But, there's nothing really stands out to me.
With the challenge,
Fernandez, but he's in a lot of pain, Broja.
He's in pain. Treatment continues. Back to Craven Cottage. John Southall.
Yeah, about 6 minutes to play. Watford trailing Fulham by 3-1. Have to say in this second half, Watford have offered absolutely nothing. You have to feel for the 5,000 fans away to the left-hand side who've travelled here tonight, because really their side in this second half, well, they haven't had a shot on target. And Fulham, here they come again down the right-hand side. Header, goal! Castagna with a header at the near post. It was coming, and he gets the fourth. Timothy Castagna heading in. Fulham 4, Watford 1.
Thank you, John. We timed that well. Closing stages over on Sports Extra. The stretch has arrived here. I think, Izzy, Broja sort of hurdles the challenge by Fernandez, the Peterborough defender who gets the ball cleanly. And a bit like I didn't see how he fell against Bournemouth at the weekend, but I think it's the impact as his leg lands and sort of the whole weight of his body goes through his right leg that has caused the problem, because I don't see much of a contact between Fernandez and Broja, but it's a sad sight at the moment.
The area that he's clutching is his calf, but it's really difficult. I mean, we're not here to diagnose what it is, but you just obviously hope he's okay, but it's difficult to see what actually happened there. But obviously we just hope he's okay, because this doesn't look good. There's a lot of medical staff on the pitch there.
Yeah, he's receiving oxygen at the moment. He's flat on his back, medical staff around him. They're getting the stretcher in place. Long delay in the game at the moment, and Peterborough are about to make another change. They were about to make another change, but Malik Mothersill is putting the green bib back on, and I think I'm right in saying if he comes on, that is Peterborough's fifth change, and I don't think we're going to see Tyler Young get on the field. So we really are hoping the best here for Armando Broja, who continues to receive treatment. While this continues at Goodison Park, Everton leading Peterborough by 1-0. Let's go back to Dundee Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. Kenny Crawford.
75 minutes gone, Ali. One man who's proving his worth in this Dundee 1, Rangers 1 game is Trevor Carson, the Northern Irish goalkeeper. 36 years old, Dundee. He's been around the block a bit. If you're a fan of Bury, Hull, Cheltenham, Motherwell, Dundee United, Morecambe and Lincoln City, to name a few, you might remember him, but he's just pulled off a brilliant save from Hamza Egaman, who scored a hat-trick in his last game against Hibs in a 3-3 draw. And there's Dundee going forward, and Adewumi nearly had his second. He's got a second bite of the cherry, but it's saved and it's gone wide, and I think out for the goal kick, but that was a good chance for Dundee. So this game going from end to end at the moment. Dundee 1, Rangers 1.
Abdoulaye Doucouré is waiting to come on for Everton. They've still not moved Broja as yet. It took a while last night, Izzy, you were covering the game, weren't you? Between Tottenham and Liverpool in the League Cup semi-final, when Bentancur was down for a while. They were really careful with looking after him and making sure he was ready to go and get him onto the stretcher, and it was a good long while. I
think it was 8 minutes, 8 to 11 minutes.
I think his right leg's getting strapped up there.
They've put a sort of a padding brace around his right leg to obviously protect it. We have obviously no inkling as to what's actually happened, but it's just, it's just not good to see a player down there like that, in pain, gas and air. Really not good to see, and he's just come on the pitch. He's only been on the pitch 15 minutes or so.
One thing is, and you'll know this well as a footballer, one thing is pain and dealing with the physical pain, but it's also having worked so hard to get fit again. You're here on loan, you're trying to do your best for Everton. It's that realisation that it's a bad one, and you could be out for a while. Yeah,
you just really hope that it's really not as bad as it looks at all for Broja.
Jesper Lindstrom is waiting to come on for Everton. Mothersill now has the green bib off and is coming on for Peterborough. So Ashley Young against Tyler Young, by my maths in terms of substitutions. I don't think we're going to get to see it tonight. They have been at the same game together, they've been in the same squads together. Ashley Young has got on the field, but a job to do for Everton, and Peterborough have a job to do as well, because once this game gets back underway, they only need a goal to get themselves back in. And we shouldn't forget as well, actually, Izzy, just in terms of that, Tyler Young has only made one substitute appearance for Peterborough this season, so he wouldn't necessarily be the natural first choice to chuck into the game, would he?
That's right, and what do you draw from this, that Darren Ferguson doesn't have a sentimental side? No, jokes aside, like you say, it's what's right for the team, and like you say, he's not made many appearances for Peterborough.
Right. They've got Armando Broja on the stretcher. Heartfelt, warm applause for the Albanian striker, who is heading across the field here and straight out of Goodison Park to go and receive whatever treatment he needs, because otherwise you'd be heading down the tunnel beneath us, very narrow, confined space. But the 6-7 stretcher bearers are marching across the halfway line at the moment. Sad scenes to see Armando Broja leave the field from a seemingly innocuous, I don't think it was even a collision, I do think it was the way he landed on that right leg, but he's obviously done himself some real damage there, and not good to see Armando Broja leaving the field here at Goodison Park on a stretcher. Lindstrom is waiting to come on. Mangala's number went up, so he is off for Everton. When we get back underway, Everton leading Peterborough by a goal to nil.
Yeah, Decore's just come on into the centre of midfield for Everton just to shore things up, and then like you say, Lindstrom, he'll probably, Njai actually is the guy who's gone furthest forward where Broja was, and you would expect Lindstrom to come onto this left-hand side, sort of inside forward.
Can Everton see this through? Tumultuous day for the football club. Sean Dyche, the manager, dismissed, leaving the club within hours of kick-off in this FA Cup third-round tie. Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman taking charge of the team that Sean Dyche had picked. Beto scoring the goal just before half-time, and Jai turns away from Fernandez, tries to wriggle away, goes down. Everton fans thought he was fouled, looked like he might have been grabbed and fouled, but Thomas Bramall says no. Peterborough have the ball. We're going to have plenty of added time at the end of this game, and Everton still lead Peterborough by a goal to nil. Cardiff 1-0 winners away to Sheffield United in the FA Cup tonight. They are through to the fourth round, and Fulham comfortably leading Watford by 4 goals to 1 at Craven Cottage. Still Dundee 1, Rangers 1 in the Scottish Premiership. 10 minutes of added time at Goodison Park, so still time for Peterborough to try and find a goal, and Armando Broja, a sad end to the game for him. Doucouré wins a ball for Everton inside the Peterborough half. Can Everton close this out? Lindstrom under pressure in central midfield, just throws himself to the floor to try and win a free kick. Never going to get that. Peterborough suddenly on the attack. Con Clark has always looked like the man who could potentially make it happen. He's on the ball now. He looks tired. He bends down to sort of stretch out his left leg a little. Kean Hayes has been a danger in this second half down the left. Little step over, approaching the Everton penalty area. Plays it back to Con Clark. He slips. The ball goes up in the air. Gay volleys it away. Harrison's trying to control it. Hayes comes back, leans over him, wins a header.
Yeah, I'm cringing for Con Clark because he's got cramp and he's just been stretching his calf off the ball. He then gets given the ball, which is the last thing he wants, and he's cut inside, tried to shoot, and you can just see his calf is cramped up, or his hamstring, as he's taken the shot, and he's just completely scuffed the shot and fallen to the floor. But yeah, that long stoppage in play wouldn't have helped the plays. It has been quite intense, it has been quite open. There's probably some hard yards that have been run tonight for both sides.
There was a collision there between Kean Hayes and Jack Harrison. They were down for a while, they're back up. Cramp being dealt with for Chris Con Clark. Real step up for him this season. As I was saying in the first half, he was playing for Altrincham last season. 23 goals and 12 assists for Altrincham, which is what persuaded Peterborough to go for him. Has looked really good on the ball tonight. Peterborough haven't been able to find themselves a goal. We're into 10 minutes of added time. Played a minute and a half of that so far. The game is back underway here. And Joao Virginia just rolls it out to Branthwaite. Branthwaite to Lindstrom, who's the player on loan from Napoli. Down the line it comes to Mikolenko, who tries a backheel pass. That doesn't come off, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Peterborough, which comes back to Emmanuel Fernandez. So do we still have a shock in store tonight? Can Peterborough find themselves an equaliser? Can they take us on and into extra time? Doesn't feel particularly nervous or tense, I would say, Goodison Park, but it's quiet at the moment.
Yeah, I was just
probably
thinking.
Probably the Broja injury, actually.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely taken the sting out of the game, and obviously we wish him the best. But it hasn't looked at all in this second half like Everton are going to score again.
No.
It really hasn't. It's looked Peterborough the more likely, and if this was a Premier League fixture, the Everton fans would be tense, really tense, because it hasn't. Great, they've scored. Great, they've potentially on their way into the next round of the FA Cup. But in terms of performance, it's not been too creative at all.
No, those goal scoring problems are not going to be easily fixed. Everton 1, Peterborough 0. Here's Wallin for Peterborough to Odo on the right hand side. Lindstrom is back doing some defending, just nudges him off the ball, wins it for Everton, plays it to Doucouré. The pass nearly too short for Branthwaite, who reacted quickly. Mothersill, the former Chelsea man, now on for Peterborough, playing in a forward position. Peterborough lose it just inside the Everton half. Here comes Gay driving forward with the ball at his feet. Wallin's with him and knocks it out for a throw. Full-time whistle is blown at Craven Cottage. John Southall.
Fulham 4, Watford 1. Really comfortable this for Fulham. 1-1 at half-time. Jimenez's third penalty in 2 games made it 2-1. Anderson volleyed in the third. Castagna headed in the fourth. Could have been more. Watford offered very little. 4 defeats on the trot for them. Fulham cruise into round 4. Fulham 1, Watford 1.
And in terms of third round action, where to next for you, John?
Off to Chelsea, which will be interesting. Chelsea Morecambe on Saturday, so team who are pretty much bottom, aren't they, of the Football League, go to Stamford Bridge, so let's see what happens there.
Excellent. Right, we will hear from John on Saturday at Stamford Bridge. Some great draws for the League 2 teams. I think 5 of them drawn against Premier League opposition, all away from home. Ashley Young penalised here. Free kick for Peterborough in the left-back position, but some great commentaries coming your way over the weekend. Leeds Harrogate, for example, 5 Live. That kicks off at 5:45. Manchester City against Salford City kicks off at the same time on Saturday. Commentary on that one on Sports Extra. You can also watch it on BBC One. You'll be able to watch Arsenal Manchester United on BBC One on Sunday. But 5 Live's got commentary of Tamworth Tottenham, which is another cracker, and Newcastle Bromley as well. Lindstrom is tackled by Wallin. That is a Dane against a Swede here in Everton Peterborough, and the ball's gone out for an Everton throw on the left. Mikolenko has the ball above his head. Is the game going to peter out into a tame finish and a 1-0 win for Everton, which they'll very happily take given the day that they've had today? Peterborough win a throw inside their own half on the right. Odo is going to leave that for Wallin. Wallin's trying to steal some yards up that right-hand touchline. Almost played 5 of the 10 added minutes here. Still Everton leading 1-0. Peterborough lose it inside their own half. Gay to Lindstrom. Lindstrom trying to take Fernandez on. Gets a left-footed cross in. Goes over the bar. He was fouled as he was doing that. That'll be a free kick to Everton on the left. Isn't he, Christensen?
Yeah, Fernandez has got a hold of Lindstrom's shirt. Is it Lindstrom? Yeah, Lindstrom, not Mikolenko, on this left-hand side. He does really well to evade the challenge. And Fernandez has just got a hold of his shirt, but the fact that he managed to get a cross into the back post whilst he was completely off balance was quite impressive.
If we don't get extra time here tonight, there might still be time to squeeze in an hour of the Traitors via iPlayer this evening, Izzy, because I need to keep up with it. I cannot fall behind with the Traitors. And if you're a fan of the Traitors, Paul Gorton from last season's series was on the Fantasy 606 podcast this week, which is available for you on the BBC Sounds app. Lindstrom's free kick in from the right. Headed from O'Brien, is blocked. Big shout from Everton for a penalty. They're going to get it. Chance to win the game in added time. Challenge at the far post. A right old scramble inside that Peterborough penalty area. Trying to see who it was who went down for Everton. Was it Branthwaite who went down under the challenge? Referee Thomas Bramall had no hesitation, blew his whistle, pointed straight to the spot, Izzy.
Yeah, there's a complete, tussle at the back post. It's Branthwaite, at the back post. You're right, Ali. He's just got complete hold. I can't quite see which Peterborough defenders got hold of him, but nonetheless, huge contact on him. He just swings him to the floor. And the referee's seen it. It's Katongo. Yeah, he's got his arms around him. Brilliant from Branthwaite. Really good strength to get him beyond. And it's just as the ball comes over, Katongo just thrashes him to the floor. And it's who's on the penalty?
That is Njai.
There we go.
So your side of the stanchion, you can see the goal and the goalkeeper. My side of the stanchion, I can see the penalty taker. So between us, we should be able to get this.
If I lean into your territory, I can see both, Ali.
Iliman Njai to win the cup tie for Everton. Takes a deep breath, 4 paces towards the ball. Here he comes, cool as you like. Rolls it down the middle. Bilo Kapic dives to his right. The ball ends up in the back of the net. And on the day that Sean Dyche departs Everton Football Club, they've scored 2 goals. They've beaten Peterborough, and they are through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. Everton 2, Peterborough 0.
Yeah, and it's come from one of the other best players on the pitch. I was speaking about Harrison Armstrong in the first half and the start of the second, but this guy here, Ndai, has been really good on the ball. He's made things happen. He's been creative at times, perhaps not been on the ball enough, but I like that he took the penalty. Ashley Young got the ball initially, whether that was mind games or not, or Ndai just saying, give me that ball, I want a goal. But it's perfectly dispatched, clean, sharp, composed. He just rolls it into the middle of the goal. Wonderful.
No upset here at Goodison Park tonight. Deep in added time, Everton have their second. They lead 2-0. Dundee Rangers, Kenny Crawford.
88 minutes gone, still Dundee 1, Rangers 1, but a brilliant moment almost for Rangers there, and Modi Amondi, the Ivory Coast midfielder, decided to just hit one after from 30 yards, and he absolutely cracked the crossbar. So it's still Dundee 1, Rangers 1.
We have played 8 minutes of added time here, 2 minutes to go, but Everton lead by 2-0. Here's Mothersill for Peterborough, tries to knock it past Michael Keane. Keane blocks the ball, keeps it in play, not the best clearance, falls at the feet of Odo. Can Peterborough find themselves a goal? Back it comes towards Fernandez on the halfway line. He doesn't see any options other than go back to his goalkeeper Bilo Kapic, who very nearly gave the ball away. Turns into a good pass though. Here's Katongo. Hayes on the left-hand side in front of those Peterborough fans, running at Ashley Young into the penalty area, still going at pace, overruns it, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think, in terms of Peterborough's performance, 2-0's harsh, but it's been a dominant performance in terms of goal-scoring opportunities by Everton, obviously dispatching their 2 main chances. That first half goal from Beto, and then that beautifully dispatched penalty from Njaya. But I think it's been a really good account from Peterborough. I've loved the way that they've played. They've been brave, played through the lines. It's been a good watch.
Sean Dyche's team selection, Leighton Baines in charge tonight. Everton leading Peterborough by 2-0. Into the last minute of the game, thoughts will turn to the Premier League and survival this season before they move into the new stadium next season. Who will be the next man in charge? Villa at home here on Wednesday night, then Tottenham come here, then it's Brighton away, and then it's Leicester home, and then it'll be the 4th round of the FA Cup. Mikolenko's ball forward to the penalty scorer Njai. Couldn't find Lindstrom. Fernandez nods it forward. All over at Goodison Park. Everton get the win on a difficult day for the football club. Sean Dyche, the manager, departing just hours before kick-off against League One Peterborough. Everton have been struggling for goals all season, didn't start the game particularly well. Grateful to 17-year-old Harrison Armstrong for a fabulous through ball late in the first half that teed up Beto to round the keeper and give Everton the lead. And it wasn't safe until added time when Iliman Njai rolled in the second from the penalty spot. A job well done by Leighton Baines, Seamus Coleman and the players on a day when all sorts will have been going on in their heads and around the football club, Izzy.
Yeah, park the turmoil, park the noise on the outside, do the job on the inside, and I think the players have done that wonderfully. Massive credit to Seamus Coleman and Leighton Baines. They'll have dealt with a fair share of adversity throughout their Everton careers in different parts in terms of management and coaching, or whether still in the squad like Seamus Coleman's circumstances, but they know how to deal with this. They know what to do, and the players were focused. Yes, Peterborough put up a great fight, but I think the right team progressed, and it's a big win for Everton.
We could still get another FA Cup tie at Goodison Park this season. The Peterborough fans on their feet, applauding the efforts of their players. They were in this game right until the very end. but it is Everton who are through to the fourth round. They've beaten Peterborough by 2-0, and now over the next few days we will wait and see who will be the next man into the hot seat at Goodison Park. Everton 2, Peterborough 0.
Ali, Izzy, thank you for the moment. We've got plenty to talk about with you two and with Andros Townsend, who's back with us as well. And we talk, Andros, don't we, a lot about the romance of the FA Cup. We didn't have the romance of father and son, Ashley and Tyler Young, being on the field together. But I just saw a little shot of Ashley going over and giving his son a hug, which was lovely to see, wasn't it? But, and you can watching the Peterborough players applauding their fans. They should do that, because actually, what a performance they put in.
Yeah, especially in the second half, I thought they were brilliant. Some very good players. Hayes off the left, Con Clark up front, Jay Jones in the first half. Very surprising for a team near the bottom of League One to be playing that well, especially in the second half. I thought Everton would go on and score 2, 3, 4, but if anything, before the second goal, Peterborough were the side looking most likely to level it. So no, hats off to Peterborough. I'm sure they'll take confidence from that game back into their fight to stay in League One.
Yeah. Andros, how buzzing were you at the end when Njai dispatched that penalty? Because am I right in saying you said 2-0 at the start of the game?
I've forgotten about that, but yes, I did. Thank you for reminding everyone.
Well played.
I mean, it's been a long night for you guys, Ali, hasn't it? You better kind of remind us about how the game unfolded, really, because it was. All the build-up beforehand, and we were expecting a buzzing atmosphere. Didn't really get it.
No, I mean, Everton didn't start particularly well, and I think that actually, tells us, as if we already didn't know, Eddie, that whoever's next in the door here at Everton, they're not going to be able to change it just like that. For the rest of this season, they're going to be working with the same group of players. Injuries depriving Leighton Baines and Seamus Coleman of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil in particular, such a creative force for Everton, and he's been missing for a while, but it was a fairly sluggish start from them. And fans, I think, a little concerned about how easy it was for Peterborough to play out and get on the ball and look confident, as Andros says, for a team that's been struggling in League One recently. One of the brightest sparks for Everton was Harrison Armstrong, the 17-year-old, given only his second start of the season tonight, and it was his brilliant through ball that created the opening goal for Beto, which he took really well, took the pass in his stride round the keeper and rolled it into the back of the net. And then, as Andros says, Peterborough again gave it a right good go in the second half, and it wasn't until right at the end when Everton got their penalty for the foul on Branthwaite, as Peterborough failed to deal with his presence from a corner, that Illiman and Jai stuck that away and got them into the fourth round. Lovely scenes now, actually, Ellie, at the end of the game. So many sort of different narrative threads in this game tonight. And as you say, we didn't get Ashley Young and Tyler Young on the field together, but what we have got now is the two of them arm in arm, last players out on the field together, and Ashley Young, like a good dad, really sort of showing his son the sights inside Goodison Park. And I think they'd spotted some family members up in the stands here, and he had his arm round his lad and he was giving them a wave. Obviously we had the worrying injury for Armando Broja as well, which is a real blow for him and a real blow for Everton. And on the day, Ellie, the evening started arriving a few hours before kick-off when we heard the news, the shock news, I guess, in terms of the timing, that Sean Dyche has left the club. So there's been a fair bit going on here today.
Absolutely.
But, Ali, Izzy, sorry, one question. Why was Goodison so flat? Because you go off social media and all the fans were happy that Sean Dyche was sacked, and you've got two of the club's biggest legends in charge. I thought it would be electric.
Well, yeah, you make a great point, Andros. I think, I don't know the answer exactly, but I can tell you it's very, very cold in here. But I do think that you alluded to it then, Andros, around the way that Peterborough played. It wasn't like a team that was near the bottom of League One. They played really well. They dominated possession at times. They played some really nice attacking football, playing through the thirds, and I actually think that just nullified Everton. And what does that do? You've played here at Goodison Park, Andros. You know the fans thrive off moments in games, and it takes moments in games for the Everton fans to get off their feet, and they were limited to that this evening. They really were. Credit to Peterborough.
The loudest roar, I would say, tonight was when the teams came out. The first sight of the teams, and obviously Seamus Coleman and Leighton Baines were there, and there was a big roar and that sort of excitement, and let's get going. But I think if we're all honest, Everton have been a tough watch this season. They've not seen many goals at Goodison Park, and I think they could see from tonight's performance as well. They've got the job done, and they've scored a couple of goals, but it's not going to be a quick turnaround. It's going to be a really nervy second half of the season. And like we keep saying as well, Ellie, such a big call made by the group today. If you consider Sean Dyche's stock in trade has been keeping clubs like Burnley and then Everton in the Premier League, halfway through the season they've decided to ditch him and go with someone else in what I think is one of the most important seasons in the club's history, considering the move they're making to the new stadium in the summer.